Hey, welcome back to another episode of Midnight Quest, where tonight we will be concluding the hero's journey to solve the mystery of the Talisman of Lore. In fact, if we're being honest, we kind of have already solved the mystery of the Talisman of Lore, but now we're just taking care of the ramifications of the mystery of the Talisman of Lore. Tonight, we're going after Fellmarak for one last time. In the last quest, we beat him, we destroyed the Sorcerer's crown, it melted down over his face, destroying most of his face, and he ran away from us like the chicken that he is. Yes, indeed. We got a whole bunch of people here already, which is great to see all of you. We got Justin here with some void emotes and 3 goblin emotes, although that third goblin's doing something real weird I can't quite see. We got you there is here, putting all the void emotes in there, and of course being disappointed that the void went away. Can't blame you there. We need to, maybe we'll start having a slightly longer void. And of course we've got Gohan here with a 50 stream streak. Gohan, you are blowing my mind, buddy. That is awesome. Thank you so much for that. By the way, when are you streaming next? Because I need to hit you with that subscribe. I got you there is here. I got Skyward Sam. I need to hit Shamrock with a subscribe. I need to hit Gohan with a subscribe. It's got to be coming here soon. Gohan is also here with the dancing Gramina emote, which is awesome. Love the dancing Gramina emote. Okay, well, let's not waste too much time before we get into this. I need to tell you guys what's going on. So I did set up beforehand again because that's been really helping us out with time. I am working on a way that Twitch subscribers can tune in to a pre-stream kind of hangout where I'm going to get the stuff set up. That's probably going to happen in Discord. So if you are watching this and you're interested, you can subscribe to the channel here on Twitch. And then also there is a pinned comment there that leads to our Discord if you're interested in seeing all of the setup. In the meantime, we're just going to do a really quick version of what's going on so you know what heroes are going on the quest. I also see that we've got an ad starting here for a second, so let me snooze that. We're going to snooze that just so that we can get this hero thing figured out here first. Okay, heroes on the quest tonight. Of course, we have Tiaga the Warlock. This is the last quest that she is required to go on. So she will be getting a nice long break after the quest ends. She has been required to go on every single quest in this book. She is super overpowered now because of all the experience she's gotten from these quests. We'll be lucky if we see her maybe once or twice in the next book just to let some of the other heroes kind of catch up to her. We also have Rana Ruvan, our female dwarf, one of our newer heroes. She was just on a quest not too long ago, seems like, with a bunch of kind of inexperienced heroes, but here she is again. Speaking of somewhat inexperienced heroes, we also have Sir Rowan Talbot here again. Both of them came up in the random card draw. And finally, we have Valerna the Elf. And Valerna is one of our OG heroes. She was quite literally in episode 1, the very first quest that we did. So she is not necessarily our most experienced hero here because Tiaga's been on so many quests recently, but definitely the longest running hero from an episode standpoint. A pretty decent amount of items and skills and spells across everybody. We're certainly not overloaded with spells or anything like that. We are also in level 3 difficulty. We are right at the tippy top of level 3 difficulty, which is where we've hung out for the last few streams. Mostly because we've had some newer heroes going on the quest alongside Tiaga, who is driving that difficulty number way up. So all monsters have an extra body point, boss monsters have an extra body point, and a potion of healing. However, there's a weird thing about that we're going to talk about when we get closer to the quest. So, of course, if they use any spells or items or anything, or skills, we're going to talk about what those skills do at the time, so you don't have to worry about knowing what all that stuff is beforehand. But I think with that, we are ready to read the quest text, get the music started, and get playing this quest. As always, if anybody has any questions about anything going on, please don't be afraid to throw something in the chat, like a baseball at full speed to hit me right in the face, and I will then speak through the broken nose and all of the blood probably streaming down my face to explain to you what's going on. Good to go. Okay, let's get this music started. There we go. All right. This is quest number 13 in Book 4. This is the final quest of Book 4, and just in case anybody's forgotten, that is Book 4 out of 14. So we are not even approaching halfway yet. We've got plenty more quests before this group of heroes is going to be facing off against Zargon himself For now, we are doing this quest, which is called Zargon's Flame. The Sorcerer's crown has been destroyed and Fellmarak's power broken, though Zargon has not entirely abandoned the Sorcerer. Lore Tome reveals Fellmarak has embraced Zargon's Flame, a terrible spell similar to undeath. Fellmarak has also been granted the power to summon other monsters with Zargon's Flame. Such creatures are hard to fell, but may be destroyed with Water of Healing. Make haste! Fellmarak makes his stand beneath Gurrok Cairn. Be wary. There are no limits to what Fellmarak will risk to have his vengeance upon you. And so that's it. Unsurprisingly, the quest is go after Fellmarak and kill him. Now let's talk about what Zargon's Flame is, as it's made kind of a big deal about that, and I've also mentioned that there is something specific to do with the body point. So level 3 difficulty tonight is really only going to give Fellmarak a potion of healing. And honestly, the more I think about it, that's not going to do him any good either. Okay, so the way we destroy monsters in this quest is different. None of the monsters have body points at all. If a hero scores a hit on a monster at all, we roll a dice, and if that roll is a 5 or a 6, the monster lives, and if it's a 1, 2, 3, or 4, monster's dead no matter how much damage we land. Now, that is still making it a little bit more difficult than what the quest map indicates. The quest map indicates here that the monster only survives on a roll of 6. So because of our level 3 difficulty, I'm going to bump that to a 5 and 6, which means every monster has a 1/3 chance or a 33% chance of surviving any hit landed on them, and that is only because of this Zargon's Flame thing. We have also given Fellmarak, who is sitting here behind me and waiting to make his appearance in the quest, he is sitting here on a pile of dread spells, which he has access to. This is every spell in the dread spell deck, except for all of the ice spells, all of the Mage of the Mirror spells, and Summon Orc, Summon Undead, and Escape, I think. Everything else is in here, and Fellmarak can cast any of these when he hits them. So he is still extremely dangerous, and also he has a special thing too that makes him harder to kill than the 5 or 6. We'll get to that when we get to that. But just so everybody's aware of why the quest is working mechanically a little different than normal. That's what's going on. Zargon's Flame is giving these monsters a sort of undeath. Definitely a weird thing that might be worth us discussing during the creative stream on Thursday. This is not something that pops up in this campaign again, but it might be good for us to kind of decide what exactly it is, where it came from, how it works, why it works, and whether we should see this ever again in custom content that we make. All right, well, let's get started without further ado. We are starting tonight with a staircase headed down into the tunnels underneath Gurrok Cairn, which is in the central mainland, almost, it's kind of up near the north-ish part of the mainland. In this staircase, we are putting Rana the dwarf, Sir Rowan the knight, Valirna the elf, and Tiaga the warlock. Also in this room, I imagine rather unsurprisingly, is a door. Because that sure would be odd if we opened up into a room and there was no door. It happens occasionally, but not very often. Valirna did pull a pass-through rock spell too, so technically she'd be able to get out even if there wasn't a secret door, but... All right, let's see what we got going on. We are starting off with Rana the dwarf, and her possibilities are search for treasure, search for secret doors, search for traps, or ignore all of that and leave the room. And it does look like she is going for the second one, which I believe is secret doors. She is searching this room for secret doors, and there are none. Her second action, search for traps, search for treasure, or leave. She is going for searching for treasure. She's going right for the good stuff, Rana. Let's see what she finds. Rana finds a loose stone and tears it from the wall. Behind it, she discovers a small leather pouch wrapped in an old rag. Peering inside, she finds 25 gold coins. Not too bad. Puts us up to 1,080 total coins. I believe that's the original 25 coin text right there too. I've made every single coin card have a unique custom text, but I did leave the original text on one card per gold coin find there. So I think that's the original 25 coins. All right, Sir Rowan the Knight. First action, traps or leave? He's leaving. We don't search for traps here. No, no, no. No traps, says Rowan. Just walk. 1, 2, 3, 4. Opening the door, we are revealing a pretty short hallway. In fact, we hardly even need to move the camera here. We've got a wall right here. A wall right here. And a Dread Warrior down the hallway. Now, this Dread Warrior's stats are exactly the same as normal, except for the body point thing. So technically, 0 body points this guy has. However, if he rolls a 5 or 6, it doesn't matter what we hit him with, he lives. So this may actually, I hadn't thought of this until now, this may result in the first ever occasion where we will have a Midnight Quest episode with no skilled strike, no super dead, because monsters don't have body points. Weird. Maybe they're all super dead. Let's go with that. That makes me feel a little better. So Rowan, are we stopping right there to search for traps in the hallway? Yes, believe it or not, he is. And from this corner to where the Dread Warrior is standing, there are no traps. Okie dokie, Valirna the elf. Now, she could search for traps, but she does know that these squares, the squares that Rowan just stepped on, aren't trapped, and they're the only relevant squares between where she is and where she needs to go, so there's really no point in searching. We're just going to have her go ahead and head out. Now, she does have a rock skin spell that we could draw to see if she casts right away or not, but let's leave that for the next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Valirna heads out into the hallway and finds herself just about face to face with the Dread Warrior. She puts an arrow in her short bow and fires, hitting that Dread Warrior with a 2. Let's see if the Dread Warrior can defend. If she lands either of those hits, we got to do the dice roll. And she has indeed landed both of those hits. Let's see if Zargon's Flame consumes this monster or allows it to continue. That is a 6. That means that attack was ineffective. Should be interesting to see how this goes on. Okay, and finally, Tiaga the Warlock. We have her, she has several options here for what she can cast, or she can just move. She can cast Demon Form. She could cast a special spell called Elemental Armor. She could cast a spell called Treasure Hunter, or she could move. She is going for her Demon Form, is what we just got there. Go ahead and show this. The Warlock ignores pit traps and may roll 1 extra attack for close and long range attacks. This spell is broken if she suffers any sort of damage. However, she can get the spell back if she reduces any monster's body points to 0. Okay, so based on the text on the card, and you guys can let me know here if you agree with this or not, this means if she loses this, she's just lost it for the quest, right? Because all the monsters already have 0 body points, so she can't kill one. So do we count this? Do we count this as if she destroys a monster, she gets the spell back? Or are we saying that if she loses it, she loses it, just for this quest? Oh yeah, we need to swap her mini either way. There's Demon Form Tiaga. And with her second action, she is going to move. And since we don't want her to be the brunt of the Dread Warrior attack, we are not going to put her in front of Valirna. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We'll put her there. Any opinions on that? Anybody there in the chat? Okay, monster's turn. The Dread Warrior is moving to attack Valirna. The Dread Warrior swings its mace and hits Valirna with a 1. What's her defense looking like? Yeah, not great. She has blocked that attack. Okay, moving on. We are back to Rana the dwarf, who is still standing on the stairs. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And back here in the hallway, she puts an arrow in her crossbow and fires at the Dread Warrior, missing it entirely. Dang. Okay, I'm sorry to say that Sir Rowan, who is next in our turn order, can't really do anything. So I suppose we'll do the only option that he has available to him, which is to search this hallway for secret doors. And we'll go ahead and do that. However, there are none in the hallway. And really, you could have determined that even without, right? So there's no spaces in this hallway that are adjacent to a room we haven't already been in. So this area here, no secret doors, and really we should have known that. But just so he's not wasting his turn, you know what? We'll even let him search for traps in the room they're standing in. There are also none. But he's used both his actions, and that's the important part. Valyria. Valyria swings her longsword at the Dread Warrior, and this is a little bit stronger because she is at full health right now. Hitting the Dread Warrior with a 2. And the Dread Warrior blocks both of them. Okay, I was worried the monsters were going to be too easy to kill in this quest, but this Dread Warrior is holding right on, isn't he? That leads us with Tiaga in the right there behind Valyria. So Tiaga is also sending a blast of demonic energy at the Dread Warrior in an attempt to destroy it. And she has hit it with a 3. That's not bad. And it has not blocked any of those hits, so is it destroyed? Yes, indeed. Zargon's flame consumes the Dread Warrior, and it is destroyed. Definitely going to be interesting to see how this quest continues. I was genuinely worried that the monsters were going to be too easy to kill and this quest was going to be kind of pathetic. But I don't know, that first Dread Warrior did put up a little bit more of a fight than I expected it to. Alright, let's get Tiaga moving on down the hallway. She's really not the one that I wanted to be in front of the party, but 1, 2, and 3. She's got exactly enough to see down this hallway, and all she can see down this hallway is a Dread Warrior and a Chaos Warrior. Yeah. How's everybody doing tonight? What's everybody up to? Everybody doing good, I hope? Kind of a quiet night so far. Not that that's really a bad thing. Hope everybody's doing all right. Oh, put that Chaos Warrior in the wrong spot. There he goes. Okay, we got 2 more Zargon's Flame monsters in the hallway, and it is now the monster's turn. So this Dread Warrior is going to head up to Tiaga, swinging its mace and hitting her with a 2. She blocks one, but not the other. And you know what? I think we're going to go ahead and have her cast Dark Wings. I mean, I hate to do it over 1 damage, but I'm sort of leaning, unless one of you in the chat wants to talk me out of this, I'm leaning towards the fact that she cannot absorb any of these monsters' essence, which means if she loses the demon form, she's just simply lost it. Cast the spell on an enemy's turn. After you've suffered damage, reduce that damage to 0 and move instantly to any unoccupied square that you can see, is what this spell does. And for once we can actually put it away. I haven't put it away in 13 quests. Which means not only does she negate that 1 damage and keep the demon form, but we can actually stick her back here in the hallway just like that. Now, that would open Tiaga up, or sorry, Valyria up for attack, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, the Chaos Warrior can't get up there. So let's go ahead and leave him back where he is. Okay, that is going to take us to Rana the dwarf. And she is headed up 1, 2, 3, 4 to the Dread Warrior here. And I believe, yeah, she's got a battle axe. Rana swings the battle axe at the Dread Warrior, hitting it with a 2. The Dread Warrior blocks 1, but not the other, and is consumed by Zargon's flame. Yeah, this is going to go one of 2 ways. Maybe that first Dread Warrior was just getting lucky. We're about to find out, I suppose. All right, that is going to take us to Sir Rowan the Knight, who is back up in the room still. He can finally actually move, and he has elected basically not to. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Hardly doing a thing. However, now I am realizing he is adjacent to this hallway, so he can search that hallway for either traps or secret doors, and he is going for traps. Using his warrior sense to focus his abilities, he does indeed sense 3 traps in that hallway, and they are all pit traps. There is one right here, one right here, and one at the very end. Just like so. So let's not forget that Tiaga can ignore those. She can walk over them like they're not even there. Rana is definitely who we want to be disarming them, but all of them technically can disarm. It is now Valerna's turn, and we are going to walk her up there and just kind of see what our options are. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That Chaos Warrior is not within range to shoot at. So I think we should go ahead and try to have her disarm this pit trap. Rana's got a much better chance than Valerna does, but Valerna's still got a 50-50. As long as this is a white or black shield, she has successfully disarmed the trap. And she indeed has successfully disarmed that pit trap. I suppose she's laid some boards down over top of it, so we can remove it from the board. Okay, finally, Tiaga. Now again, I'd hate to open her up to be the one to get hit by that Chaos Warrior, but that's kind of what's making the most sense. Forgot to get that black shield out of there. It's too bad she can't split movement. Move a little bit, attack, and then move back. But them's the mechanics. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we can definitely get her close enough to shoot at that Chaos Warrior. But if she doesn't kill it immediately, it's going to hit her, and it's probably going to break that demon form. Yeah, you know what? I mean, again, I almost hate to do it, but that is what makes the most sense. We want to get through this quest. We want to kill all the monsters. That she doesn't have any spells that make more sense than that. Let's do it. Let's risk it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Puts her right in front of that pit trap and definitely within range to shoot a beam of demonic energy at that Chaos Warrior. Hitting it with a 2. The Chaos Warrior does not defend either of those hits and is consumed by Zargon's flame. Okay, no visible monsters on the board. We are back to Rana the Dwarf, and let's hope we can get her up to this other pit trap to get rid of it. Okay, she's rolled a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exactly enough. She attempts to disarm the trap. Now, she has Dwarf Disarm, which works a little differently. She has an extremely good chance of being able to get rid of this trap. As long as this is not a black shield, she has done it successfully. That is good. Successful pit trap disarm. Very good, very good. We're getting awfully lucky. Sir Rowan also headed down the hallway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And he is now able to see into this part of the hallway. And what he sees is 2 more Chaos Warriors. One there, and one there. Okay, now he does have 1 movement left in his dice roll, and I think we will go ahead and let him take that in an attempt to disarm that last pit trap. He's got a 50-50 chance, so as long as this is a shield of either color, he's good to go. And indeed, he's gotten lucky as well. That's starting to scare me a little bit. At some point, these dice are going to turn on us, right? I don't know when it's going to be, but at some point, these dice are turning on us for sure. Okay, moving on. Valerna the Elf is currently at the back of the party. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then she is going to go here, 8. Now, is she searching this for traps, or is she attacking that Chaos Warrior? She is searching for traps. Okay, let me put down a couple more walls just so that we can clearly define what is being searched for traps. Remember that heroes in this land have what's called warrior sense, which allows them to focus their energy to, sense things like traps and secret doors without physically having to touch every single square. This is why we're able to search an area instead of her needing to walk around the entire area. This is going to reveal any traps that are in this area, but I also usually put down walls just so that we can properly determine what is being searched. So there might be other stuff in this area other than the walls you've just seen me put down. It's not going to reveal us monsters or doors or anything like that. But from this square, and then all the way around this hallway that surrounds the central room up to this square, there is indeed 2 more pit traps. As you can see, Fellmarak was expecting the heroes to come. Okay, that kind of leaves us again with putting Tiaga front and center on one of these Chaos Warriors, unless she doesn't roll enough to get up to him, but that's definitely enough. So I guess we're going to send her towards the one that Valerna went towards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 is going to put her right up against this Chaos Warrior here, where she can swipe with her claws. Whoops. Hitting that Chaos Warrior with a 2. It does not block either hit, but it is not consumed. Zargon's flame keeps it alive. That takes us to the monster's turn, where we see this Chaos Warrior immediately returning the attack on Tiaga, swinging its axe and hitting her with a 2, which miraculously she blocks. I really did not see that coming. And we have the other Chaos Warrior approaching Sir Rowan. Again, swinging its axe and hitting him with a 2. What's his defense looking like? I can't believe it's not more than that. That is wild. He's got kind of bad defense for a little while now. Sir Rowan blocks one and takes the other hit, dropping him to 9 body points. I don't think the knights get better armor until they get tier 2 armory. Unless we could get him plate mail, but it would slow down his movement significantly. Alright, back to the front of the hero team. That is going to put us at Rana, who's the only one who just about can't do anything from where she's at. I think we'll let her shoot at this Chaos Warrior around that corner, but other than that, that area is kind of locked with minis. So Rana fits an arrow in her crossbow and fires at the Chaos Warrior, hitting it with a 2. And it does not block either hit. Zargon's flame consumes the Chaos Warrior. Okay, that leaves Sir Rowan to head down the hallway. I think we'll split the team up here with Sir Rowan and Rana heading up and Valerna and Tiaga continuing down. We'll just see what they see. But since Sir Rowan is no longer... he doesn't have a monster in his way, he can go ahead and head down. 1, 2, and 3. Now that he can see down this part of the hallway, we can also reveal that down here is a Doomguard. Again, a Doomguard being kept alive by Zargon's flame, but a Doomguard nonetheless. Oh yeah, you there's got a 7-stream streak. Back to 7, sad I missed one day when I was sick. Oh man, well sorry to hear you were sick. Glad you're back up to 7 though. And feeling better, I hope? Because you've been in here the last several nights, right? So I can't imagine this sickness wasn't any time recently. Well, obviously you've been in here the last 7, so it was a week ago then, eh? Let's see. Rowan, what are we doing here? Clearly better. Good. Yes. Very good. I hate being sick, and I get sick a lot more often now teaching I got, you know, private one-on-one lessons is what I do for my day job, and so any sickness that is going through a school system, I get it, because I got kids from every school system in the surrounding area, so I get sick way more often than I used to. Hate it. Oh, there is one more thing that Sir Rowan can see here. There is a door leading up into this blue room. Dr. Funnut is here. Hey, hey, hey. How's it going? Hope you're doing good. So I suppose Rowan continues his movement, but I don't know if we want to get rid of that pit trap just yet. Excuse me. Yeah, let's maybe move him forward, but not step on the pit trap for the sake of attacking that monster instead. Sir Rowan puts an arrow in his crossbow and fires at the Doomguard, hitting it with only one, which the Doomguard blocks. Alright, that is going to take us to Valirna, the elf who is standing right here, and she is going to put an arrow in her short bow and fire at the Chaos Warrior. Hitting it with a 2. And it does not block either one. The monster is consumed by Zargon's flame. Okay. Valirna also has a second action, so that means she could either search this area for secret doors, or she could cast the rock skin spell, or she could go ahead and move. We are going to have her move. Alright, 1, 2. Rounding the corner, Valirna finds pretty much a match for what happened in the upper area. A door leading down, and a Doomguard. Just like that. Okay, now I don't think we are going to do exactly the same thing Sir Rowan did, because she's already used her action, so she can't attack this guy. I think we'll leave her right there. Tiaga can attack this guy, but she can ignore pit traps, but I would still argue that she can't stand on a square with a pit trap on it. I think she can pass over them. I don't think she can end her turn on one. So let's go ahead and move Tiaga up there, able to attack. You know what else I think, now I think about it? Because Tiaga rolls 4 dice while she's in demon form for close or long range, I don't really want her to be the one who is getting attacked, because we want her to keep this demon form. So let's leave her here, because she can still shoot at this guy with the same efficacy as if we put her there. So strategically, let's leave her back there a little bit. Firing a blast of demonic energy, she hits the Doomguard with a 3. And the Doomguard, surprisingly, does not block a single one of those. Come on, dice. And it is consumed by Zargon's flame. You know what? I think I'm going to put on the list, on our creative stream on Thursday, that we always do, I think we're going to discuss this mechanic. Because think about this again. I don't know if everybody watching now was also watching when I mentioned this earlier, but I actually made this mechanic harder than what it is in the quest book and what I've gotten written in my quest book because we're on level 3 difficulty. I feel like these monsters are going down way too easy. Now there's a pretty good likelihood we will never play this quest again on this stream. Not 100% chance, but a pretty high likelihood. But if this mechanic needs tweaking for if we ever use it for anything else, I'm kind of feeling like the monsters are going down a little too easy. And we made it harder than what the book says to do already. It's kind of wild. Okay, it is the monster's turn, and this Doomguard is going to attack Sir Rowan. Now, the monsters can stand on pit trap squares, and nothing happens. The Doomguard swings that stick that used to be an axe until I accidentally dropped a bunch of drawers on top of him at Sir Rowan. Hitting him with a 1. 5 dice and only 1 skull. That's kind of weird, too. And Sir Rowan does not block the attack, dropping him to 8 body points. Monsters are going easy on us right now for some reason. Okay, that's going to take us to Rana the Dwarf. And she is heading up where Sir Rowan is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She's getting as close as she can get here. Putting an arrow in her crossbow and firing at the Doomguard. Excuse me, hitting it with a 1. Okay, 1 dice didn't land quite right. And surprisingly, that Doomguard does not block. Kind of crazy. Oh, dice, come on now. There we go, that monster is successfully staying alive. Dr. Fonda said, I mean, it's like we can't even buff them to make it harder with the redeems. It wouldn't affect much. Right, you can buff their attack and defense still, but they have no body points. Yeah. And honestly, the dice are just rolling the monster's crap, too. You know what I mean? Because we don't even need to roll that movement dice to see if they get consumed, if they defend the attack. And a Doomguard with 5 defense dice ought to be blocking attacks, you know? But yeah, I do think the Zargon's Flame mechanic is maybe a little bit broken. Okay. Let me, you know what? Just real quick, because I know I've got the actual quest book right here. Let me just make sure that that I'm correct in saying I've made it harder than their intention. I see. So the mechanic in the book is slightly different, but not very much. Apparently, as Zargon, I'm supposed to call out any 2 numbers and then roll the die, and if it matches one of the numbers, the monster's unharmed. So the only thing that I've changed in my book is I've specified the numbers rather than making myself call out 2 numbers every time. So, yeah, same. It's the same. I did also add, like, a lot of monsters to this quest, based more than what's in that book. Still weird, though. Okay, moving on here. What did we just do? The monster's turn. The Doomguard attacked Rowan and barely hit him, right? Okay, let's see. Rana. It is Rana the Dwarf, and she is firing an arrow from her crossbow at the Doomguard in front of Rowan and missing it entirely. Okay. Finally, the heroes get kind of a bad roll. These white dice usually roll bad for the heroes and good for the monsters. Kind of surprised it's the other way around. Either way, the only other thing she can do with her action here is to search this area for secret doors, and it is the same area we described earlier from this square all the way around the central room to this square. There are no secret doors. I see. Okay. There's definitely an interesting mechanic coming up. All right, that is going to take us to Sir Rowan, who is directly in front of the Doomguard. Swinging his battle axe, he hits the Doomguard with a 2. It blocks 1, but not the other. And it is unfortunately consumed by Zargon's Flame. Okay, Rowan does not have an action to disarm that trap. He could try to jump over it, but he cannot disarm it. Because he does not have the action left. That is unfortunate. That pretty much means we need to just end his turn. There is nothing else he can do. Okay, down here we are at Valerna, and she might as well attempt to jump over that pit trap. We don't have to worry about Tiaga. Tiaga can just walk right over it because she's demon form, so Valerna's not really helping anybody out by trying to disarm it. Let's see if she can jump over it. 1, 2. As long as this is a shield of either color, she has successfully jumped it. Excuse me. Unfortunately, she trips, falls in the pit trap, loses a body point, knocking her down to 12 body points. This maybe would have been a better mechanic for a different quest instead of the finale. I feel like the creator's intention was to make this quest harder with the Zargon's Flame, but I'm not sure that's I don't think we've achieved the desired result, even with me adding in a significant number of monsters. At least at the moment. Could just be our dice rolls being unlucky for the monsters. Tiaga. Not moving very fast. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Unfortunately, she does not make it to the door. Nothing else can be done in this hallway. Let's go ahead and have Tiaga activate her Treasure Hunter spell. Now, this is a Tier 2 spell that we have not seen yet, so this is more powerful magic that only some of the spellcasters get access to. For the next 5 times the affected hero searches for treasure, they may draw 3 treasure cards instead of 1. Excuse me, the affected hero must take the effects of all 3 cards, be it gold, potions, traps causing damage, or wandering monsters. So this is definitely a big gamble, but it can be very worth it as far as getting lots of coins, but it could also summon you 3 wandering monsters. So we are going to put that on Tiaga, and we'll keep track of how many times she searches for treasure. Alright, moving on. No monsters on the board. It is time for Rana, and we want her to try and disarm that trap. Let's see if we can get a little bit of a closer view. I really like this isometric view. If we can hold on to this for some of the quest. The camera arm doesn't like staying down that low. Rana's got way more movement than she needs to try and get rid of this trap. As long as this isn't a black shield, she's good. And she has indeed successfully disarmed the trap. So Rowan is next, and he is just going to continue on down. Hopefully he'll make it to that door. Oh yeah, plenty of movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Opening the door into the blue room, Rowan discovers another door. A weapons rack, a zombie, and a mummy. Zombie. A mummy. And in opening the door, an alarm goes off throughout the facility, which opens almost every single door in the quest, causing us to need to pretty much populate the entire quest except for one room. That's going to take a second. Let me switch cameras, raise it way up here, and let's see what else is going on in this quest. I'm just going to first remove all of the areas where there are now open doors. Going in here, and opening that door. Let's go ahead and grab some furniture here. We've got a chest up in that room. We've got a cupboard up here. A torture rack in this room here. The little skeleton guy up so that we can actually put the torture rack down. There is a fireplace in this room. An alchemy bench down here. Unfortunately, the one that Savannah painted in last night's stream is not quite ready for use yet, so we're still using an unpainted one there. A bookshelf here. Actually, we've got another bookshelf. Whoa, how did that happen? Okay, another bookshelf here. There's also a second chest that I've just thrown by accident. Second chest down in this corner. Okay, I think that's all the furniture. As far as monsters, we've got a Chaos Warrior. Oh, okay, so it's only, 1 second. Excuse me. I knew I had to sneeze, it just didn't come out. Well, unfortunately, I am locked into my area here. I can't get to it even if I wanted to use it. So we have a Chaos Warrior up there in that red room. There is also an Ocean Abomination up there. I know that red room is not quite on camera either. Yeah. Okay, in that next room over, we've got a zombie and 2 skeletons. We got to be getting close to the painted set of skeletons here, too. I feel like we haven't seen those for a while. Skeleton, skeleton, zombie. We've got an Ocean Abomination and a Chaos Warrior. In this room, Ocean Abomination here, Chaos Warrior kind of near the door. We've got, yeah, another Chaos Warrior and Ocean Abomination. Here, actually we'll face these guys towards the other door. Here and here. 2 skeletons in the room with the alchemy table. Here and here. We've got a zombie, a Chaos Warrior, and an Ocean Abomination in the next room. Zombie. Chaos Warrior. I've again faced these guys the wrong way. Chaos Warrior and another Abomination. And then in that final room, a zombie and a mummy. So yeah, the upper part of this quest and the lower part of this quest are kind of like echoes of each other. They're not exactly the same, but they're very similar. There we go. Okay, Rowan. We had a short recently that was called Sir Rowan Might Be a Moron. And not that he knew opening this door was going to do that, but it's kind of a moron move. Rowan, are we searching for traps or are we fighting those monsters? He is going to search that blue room for traps, and there are none. Okay, that's going to take us to Valerna. Let's actually see if we can get this camera pulled over here. Yeah. This camera arm works a little better than the other one. Neither of them like to stay down, but this one will stay lower than the other one will. That's right, Valerna is down in a pit trap right now. So luckily, as long as she's not trying to disarm it, she can climb up out of it. So not a big deal here. She can go ahead and move like normal. 1, 2, 3, 4. Same thing as Rowan. Are we searching for traps or attacking the monsters? She is attacking. Are we doing long range or are we barging? She is doing long range. So from the doorway, she fires an arrow at the zombie. Hitting it with a 1. It does not block the attack. And it is consumed by Zargon's flame. Tiaga. Also down in this area and not moving hardly at all. 1, 2. That is literally useless. She can do nothing else. So I guess we are now at the monster's turn. And what a weird monster's turn this is. Now, I'll be honest, Rowan and Valerna are blocking the doorways so that we can't really move this like an army, but we can definitely clog up the hallways. I may go ahead and leave most of these guys dormant just so that we don't have, like, you know, 12 turns of fighting and then there's no monsters left until the last room. That would be a little bit boring. So since we're pointing at this already, 1, 2, 3, 4, the mummy swings a fist at Valerna. But misses her. Come on, dice. I like to see the heroes win, but I also like to see the heroes be challenged a little. Up here, we've got a zombie coming for Sir Rowan, swinging its cleaver and hitting him with a critical hit of 2. He only blocks 1, dropping him to 7 body points. I think we'll go ahead and move this mummy up as well. But as I mentioned, I think we will go ahead and leave most of the other monsters, at this moment, all of the other monsters dormant, just so that we don't have several empty rooms in a row. The monsters could move right now, but they couldn't attack also. So I don't think we're messing with anything by doing that. All right, that's going to take us to Rana, who is up here. Let's see if she can get up to shoot at that zombie at least. 1, 2, 3. Firing an arrow with her crossbow. She hits the zombie with a 1. The zombie does not block it somehow. And it is consumed by Zargon's flame. Yeah, there we go. Tell you what, let's use a special Zargon's flame dice. I've got one of these white dice with red dots that are from the newer Avalon Hill stuff. Rather than using the same movement dice we've been using, we will make this little guy right here our Zargon's flame dice. Okay, that's going to take us to Sir Rowan. They do know that there are no traps in that blue room, so let's go ahead and move him in there for the sake of attacking that mummy. He swings his battle axe at the mummy, hitting it with a 1, but the mummy blocks the attack. Okay, and he moved an attack, so that's it. Coming back down here, we now have Valerna fighting that mummy. Now, is she still at full health? No, she is not, so her longsword is slightly less effective. Swinging her longsword, she hits the mummy with a 2. The mummy only blocks 1. And it is not consumed by the flame. Okay. She only attacked. That's the only thing she's done. She could search this room. Let's give her some options here. Search for traps, search for secret doors, cast rock skin. Those are her options here. She is indeed going to cast rock skin on herself. The affected hero may use 1 extra defense dice when being attacked. The spell is broken when the hero suffers 1 body point of damage. So giving herself a slight boost in defense, probably temporarily. And finally, we have Tiaga the Warlock, who is also going to fire at that mummy, firing a blast of demonic energy, but missing. You know what? I don't mind. Okay, back to the monster's turn, and we've got this mummy already we're pointing at, swinging at Valerna and hitting her with a 1, which, using her rock skin boosted defense, she blocks. Coming up here, we've also got a mummy attacking Sir Rowan, hitting him with a 1, which he does not block. Boy, Rowan's not defending like basically at all tonight, dropping him to 6 body points. And let's see, will this Chaos Warrior up here get to him? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It would. What about the Ocean Abomination right there? The Ocean Abomination probably could too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, either one of those monsters in that red room could also come up here. And since they have something they could do, let's go ahead and do that. Yes, I drew a random card here. It's going to be the Abomination. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ocean monsters are fast. Thrusting its spear, the Abomination hits Rowan with a 2. And he doesn't block either of them, dropping him to 4 body points. Surprising. All right, that is going to take us back to the hero's turn, and it is now. Go on to stupid Rowan. Yeah, I agree. Remember, based on our short, Rowan might be a moron. Boy, tonight might be another two Mountain Dew kind of night. I feel like I got something weird in my throat I can't quite get rid of. Might. Might be a moron, yes. Okay, Rana could shoot at either one of those monsters from her current position. She is going to shoot at the Abomination. Rana puts an arrow in her crossbow and fires, hitting the Abomination with a critical hit of 3. Now, the Abomination only has 2 defense dice, so this is as close as we're going to get to a skilled strike in this quest. Let's see if the monster defends. No, that monster is consumed by the Dread Flame, and assumingly, I guess, as close as we're going to get to super dead tonight. Gohan says, I think he knows what he's doing. Ah, so if Ragnar's not the traitor, is Sir Rowan the traitor? He just makes himself out to be a fumbling idiot. Okay, speaking of fumbling idiots, it is Sir Rowan's turn, and he is swinging his battle axe at that mummy, hitting it with a 1. 4 attack dice and only 1 skull. That's fumbling idiot. Zilnox says, Super Dead is not as good as Omega Dead. Ooh, that's fancy. That is a very good point. What, I wonder, would a hero need to roll to make a monster Omega Dead? The mummy did not block Sir Rowan's attack, but it is sustained by Zargon's flame. Poor Rowan. He's trying so hard and he just cannot get these monsters to die. Alright, Valerna the elf. She does not really have any attacking spells that would be... She's got Arrows of the Night, but I don't want to waste that on the mummy. I think her best option is just regular attacking. Swinging her longsword, she hits the mummy with a 1, which the mummy blocks. Okay, with her other action, she could search for traps or search for secret doors in this room, and she is going to go ahead and search for traps. There are, none in that room. Zealnox says, well, at least in my Pathfinder game, it's mostly when they crit, then roll to confirm the crit with a crit, then roll to confirm that crit. Yeah, that's a lot of layers of crits. That makes sense. Omega Dead makes a lot of sense in that case. Usually with a crit, but not needed. Yeah. Yes. So I don't know if I've explained this or if you've seen this before, or maybe you've just put it together when watching. When we do Super Dead, usually what happens there is what I call a skilled strike, which means the heroes got so many skulls with their attack that the monster couldn't possibly defend it. It's dead even if it gets the maximum number of defense dice or defense shields when it rolls. So Super Dead is when that monster couldn't have possibly defended the attack that it just got hit with. So yeah, funny though. So maybe if we do that with a critical hit, it's even more dead. But honestly, a skilled strike and super dead happens with a critical hit pretty often, because sometimes that's what it requires. Okay, moving on with Tiaga here. She is shooting a blast of demonic energy at that same mummy, hitting it with a 2. It does not block either hit. And it is consumed by Zargon's flame. Alright. These monsters are giving him at least a tiny bit of trouble. Tiaga is now going to move into the room. 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's unfortunate to leave her there, but unless we leave her in the hallway, there's pretty much nothing else she can do. Yeah. Might be some unfortunate stuff, but I think that's what we're going to go. Zealnox says, the bit I mentioned for Pathfinder is basically the same, since the idea is that you crit so hard most critters can't defense against it, with some exceptions. Yes. Yep. Absolutely. Ouch. What have I got going on there? All right. Okay, monster's turn now, and we've definitely got a few things that can happen. Zealnox says, usually those of the construct or undead variety. That makes sense, especially the construct stuff, yeah. Constructs have got to be made of some pretty tough stuff that would be pretty easy to block, even pretty hard hits. So any one of these 3 monsters that we are seeing here could come attack Tiaga. Plenty of movement involved. We are going to take the Abomination. So low card, medium card, high card, we drew a queen, so... Abomination. Oh, this room is hard to tell where the squares are. There we go. The Abomination thrusts a spear at Tiaga, hitting her with a 2. Okay, which she miraculously blocks. Again, that's the second time she's done that, and I did not expect it one bit. Up here, we have Sir Rowan being hit by a mummy. The mummy swings, hitting Rowan with a 1. And he does actually block for once. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again, just because the Chaos Warrior can actually make an attack here. The Chaos Warrior swings its axe, hitting Rowan with a 4. And he doesn't block a single one. Okay. Okay, hold on now. I do believe this is a good opportunity for Sir Rowan to use his Imperial Training skill. Use the skill directly after you've just rolled to attack, defend, or move. You may ignore your roll and roll again. Because that was pretty pathetic. Rowan, you just got hit with 4. Can you block that a little better, please? Nope. He is aggressively not blocking that attack. And thankfully, this guy has a potion of rejuvenation in his inventory, or had, I should say, because that would have been him dead. So at the last moment, Sir Rowan drinks a potion of rejuvenation, restoring him to 6 body points. Oh, geez, Rowan. Sir Rowan might be a moron. I really like that mini, too. I'd have been a little bit mad for it to see him go. I mean, the character that we're kind of portraying here, being dumb, I wouldn't be mad about seeing go. But I really like that mini. Zonak says it's actually determined by whether the thing in question can survive without a head. Okay, yeah, that also makes a lot of sense, yeah. I had not taken that into consideration. Good point. Okay, back to the front of the heroes team. We are now at Rana, and she again finds herself with 2 possible options for attack, and she is sticking with attacking the Chaos Warrior right over here. She fits an arrow into her crossbow and fires, hitting that Chaos Warrior with a 2. It blocks 1, taking the other one, and it is consumed by Zargon's flame. Now that does mean that she can actually move into that room rather than being stuck out in the hallway, so that is kind of a good thing. 1, 2, and 3. It is now time for Sir Rowan, who found himself very recently at death's door, even though he is just about the only hero in this quest who's even been hit even 1 time so far. Poor guy has just been getting garbage dice rolls, which is totally fine, because at least it's giving us a little bit of drama, since the Zargon's flame thing is making the monsters a little flimsy. He swings his battle axe at the mummy, hitting it with a critical hit of 4. The mummy doesn't block a single one. I mean, I guess that's payback. And the mummy is consumed by Zargon's flame. I don't know if that showed up on camera. Did you guys see that? When I picked the mummy mini up, it kicked Rowan in the face on the way over, which was not intentional, but definitely kind of funny. Okay, Sir Rowan, we have 1 more action yet to do, and there are plenty of things that you could do in this room. Search for secret doors, search for treasure, or leave the room. He's going for treasure. Gohan says, well, it's not like mummies are super mobile usually. Yeah, very true. Very true. Even in this game, they're very slow. They have high defense, but they can only move 4 spaces. So definitely not the fastest thing you're running into. Let's see what Rowan finds. While Rowan is searching, a hidden arrow shoots from the wall and strikes him. He loses 1 body point. I'm not sure whether to be mad at the guy or feel sorry for him at this point. Okay, down here we are now at Valerna the Elf, who is going to go attack that abomination. I'd really like for Tiaga to search this room for treasure because she has that treasure hunter. Ah, Rukoro has redeemed a gift of potion of healing. Absolutely excellent. Any particular hero you are looking for that, Rukoro? Is that for poor Sir Rowan? Gohan says, I'm at the point where he has to learn on his own. Yeah. Yeah. Anyone that needs it. Understood. Rowan is actually just about the only hero who's even damaged. And it's his own stupid fault. But we will absolutely let him go ahead and heal 1, 2, 3, and 4. That puts him back up to 9. And that's probably a good thing, since apparently his dice rolls are going to suck this quest. Everyone else is doing pretty good. But not Rowan. Either way, very much appreciated. By the way, hello, Rukoro. I hadn't seen you yet. Hope you're doing good. 1, 2, 3, 4. Valerna is going to fire at that abomination. I assume she's going to scream duck at Tiaga. And then fire off an arrow, hitting that abomination with a 1, which the abomination does not block. And it is consumed by Zargon's flame. Nice, just got on break. Hope work day is not going too bad. Gohan says, let him die, I'll bring him back. Just got to teach him a lesson first. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. I think we're all in agreement that if Robert Tynan ever dies, if somebody death saves him, we'll let him come back, but we change his name. We haven't seen him for a while, actually. He has not come up in the cards for a minute. Him and Ragnar both, actually. It seems like it's been a minute, and that is not intentional. It's just the cards. I bet they're both going to be on the next quest, because we've got to be getting near their cards. Okay, that is going to take us to Tiaga, and as I mentioned, I would very much like her to search for treasure in this room, and I do think we are going to start with that because she gets 3 treasure cards here, and if they're if some of them are wandering monsters, she's going to be in bad shape. So this is her first of 5 treasure hunter searches, which affords her 3 treasure cards instead of 1. And she's got to take all 3 of these, whatever they are. Okay, not terrible. Her first card. She pulls on a string hanging from a board in the ceiling. The board falls and spills the contents of the small cubby. Among the things that fall are a uselessly blunt short sword, a stained blue tunic, and what appears to be a spell book with blank pages, as well as 35 gold coins. Go ahead and add that on here real quick. 5, that's going to put us up at 1,115 total coins. Her second card is a Potion of Defense, which we'll go ahead and mark on her sheet. And her third card is a Dread Idol. She finds herself drawn to a strange idol. She realizes that she's reaching for it, even though sudden pain grows as she gets closer. Roll a movement dice for each of her mind points. If she rolls a 6, she manages to stop herself from touching it. However, if she does not, if she fails this roll, she loses 2 body points. Now, Tiaga is not only our most experienced hero, but she is also by far our smartest hero, because she has been doing a whole lot of education. So she has 9 mind points right now. So I'd say it's pretty likely that she does not fail this roll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I literally need 1 more. Do I have another classic HeroQuest movement dice? No, I don't. Okay. We'll roll 8 of the classic red dice and 1 blue Avalon Hill dice. If a 6 is on any of these, she's good to go. And let's be honest, it's probably going to, right? Okay. All right, Twitch, clip that. That's ridiculous, okay? Not a single 6 in sight, I'm afraid. Tiaga, after all that she has been through in this book, just can't help herself. She sees an idol, she grabs it, and it immediately harms her, causing her 2 body points of loss, dropping her to 10, and destroying her demon form. And as far as I'm concerned, that is a permanent destruction of the demon form in this quest at least. So the treasure hunter has some ramifications, I'm afraid. How do you roll 9 dice and not get a single 6? That's something. Especially after I spend several minutes talking up how, like, let's be honest, there's gonna be a 6 in there. Stop touching. Yeah, yes. Oh, that is wild. I expected her to lose the demon form tonight. I didn't expect it to be because she failed a mind point roll. She is the last hero who ought to be failing a mind point roll. Wow. Okay, that was her first action, so with her second action, she can go ahead and fire at one of the monsters here that's in the red room. Ooh, I forgot to mark that room's now been searched. Okay, so we'll go ahead and let her shoot. She is going to shoot at the Chaos Warrior, based on our random cards. She is firing a blast of energy from her Redwood Wand, hitting that Chaos Warrior with a 2. The Chaos Warrior does not block the attack, and it is consumed by Zargon's Flame. There you go, just kill one of the harder monsters in the game like it's nothing right after you touched an idol and lost your demon form because you couldn't roll a 6 across 9 dice. Okay, monster's turn. This zombie is definitely coming to attack Tiaga. Swinging its sword and missing. Okay, apparently she's had enough punishment this turn. Now, there are some monsters that we could move towards these two, but again, I don't want to gang all the monsters up on them and then have a bunch of empty rooms in a row. So let's let them get at least a little bit closer to these undead that are over here, before those undead start coming for them. So let's end the monster's turn there, and we will continue on moving them. I don't want to swarm the heroes and then spend several turns attacking, and then we basically have like an empty rest of the quest. So, Rana's turn. She can search for secret doors or leave the room. Those are her two options. She is going to search this room for secret doors, and there are none, which means she can now leave this room. 1, 2, 3. Is she stopping to search for traps? Yes, she is. She doesn't have the action to do it, but she is going to stop there just in case. Rowan. Is Rowan also smart enough to do that? I think we all know the answer. Now here's the thing. He can't actually stop on that space because Rana did. So he would have to go at least one space into the room to search for traps. 1, 2, 3, 4. And rather unfortunately, there is a trap on that square. There was nothing he could have done about it. So at least there's that. That is a swinging blade trap that he has just stepped on. So unfortunately, it immediately triggers. And we are going to roll a couple of dice here. And that blade hits him just about square as hard as it could possibly hit somebody, dropping him 2 body points down to 7 and knocking him backwards back into the blue room. And that trap stays until it has triggered. Was it 3 times we decided? Let's take a real quick review just so that I don't do this wrong, because we recently decided on a creative stream to do this trap differently. And if they can't disarm this, I think we decided it can only trigger either twice or 3 times. There it is. 3 times. So they're either going to successfully disarm it, or it triggers 3 times and then it's broken. Rugora says, of course, typical for him. Literally, this guy can't catch a break this quest, and he's definitely done pretty dumb things fairly commonly recently. Okay, coming back down here, we are at Valerna and Tiaga. This room is pretty much searched out, but we can see what we can do here. First off, let's have Valerna attack that zombie. Putting an arrow in her crossbow and firing, her short bow. Hitting the zombie with a 2. The zombie blocks one but not the other, and is sustained by Zargon's flame. With her other action, Valerna is going to search this room for secret doors and find none. Tiaga. See if Tiaga has better luck. Swinging her broadsword. She totally misses the zombie. Well, that I'd say is the definition of not having better luck. Wild. I guess it's Tiaga's turn for some incredibly unlucky dice rolls. The game realized she didn't have the stupid roll and was like, yeah, let's still mess with her a little. Okay, with her second action, she can search this red room for either traps or secret doors. She is going to search it for secret doors and find none. All right, that's going to take us to the monster's turn. And again, we've got this zombie right here attacking Tiaga, swinging its sword, hitting her with a 1, which she blocks. And up here, I think we're going to let that lead zombie come up there. We'll leave the other 2 skeletons, but since they can see each other, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that zombie has exactly enough squares to walk up to Rana, swinging its cleaver and hitting her with a 1. Is she maxed out on defense? Yes, she is. Which she blocks, but check that out, just barely. 1 single white shield out of 6 dice she just rolled. Okay, you know what? Actually, I don't think 6 is maxed out for a dwarf. No, it sure isn't. I think 7 is maxed out defense for a dwarf. Okay, that's going to take us back to Rana. Hopefully she can kill this zombie. Ooh, she won't be able to disarm the trap unless she has both actions available to her. That is very frustrating. Excuse me. Okay. Rana swings her battle axe at the zombie, hitting it with a 3. It does not block any of those hits. And it is consumed by Zargon's flame. That was it for that, right? Do we have any other zombie? Yes, we have one more zombie. Literally, it was just in combat. Okay, now, I would really love for Rana to disarm that trap, but she needs 2 actions to do it. She's got to be able to move and disarm the trap. You can't jump over those, I don't think. I just read this. This is embarrassing. It's cool. Memory problems. Okay. Okay, it doesn't indicate. Okay. That's probably something that ought to be changed at some point. You cannot jump this trap. If you step on it, it triggers. The only way you jump it is if you manage to not roll any skulls when you land on it. And it's just simply not worth the risk. So I think with her other action, we are just going to have her search that red room for secret doors, and there are none. Rowan is kind of in the same boat. I mean, Rowan can't do anything other than stepping on that trap. Now, he could try to disarm it. It's just really unfortunate that it wasn't Rana to do it, because Rana has a way higher chance of disarming. So even though Rowan is having absolutely terrible luck, let's give this a try. He's got a 50-50 chance here. He attempts to disarm the swinging blade trap, and he is unsuccessful, unfortunately. The swinging blade trap again triggers. This time he does manage to jump out of the way of the blade. Which direction is he jumping? He is jumping downward. Okay. So at least there's that. Oh, I see. I put something in there that I should not have. They've searched for secret doors and nothing else in that room. Okay. So at least he didn't get hit by it. He did trigger it, though. And that's it. So he moved and then attempted to disarm the trap, and that is it. Down here, we have Valerna. Now, the only thing that is left to do is attack that zombie. That room is all searched out. Valerna shoots an arrow from her short bow, hitting the zombie with a critical hit of 3. The zombie blocks 1 and is sustained by Zargon's flame. So no luck for Valerna. Unfortunately, there is nothing else that she can do unless there is a spell that would be handy. She could cast Courage, but it does feel a little bit misplaced here. Maybe if we were facing a Dread Warrior or a Chaos Warrior or a Doom Guard or something like that, might be better used. But yeah, Courage feels like a little bit of a overkill here at the moment. So yeah, I guess we'll surrender her second action and swap it over to Tiaga, who is also going to attempt to attack this zombie, swinging her broadsword, hitting it with a 2. The zombie again blocks 1 and is consumed by Zargon's flame. Tiaga, are we searching for traps before we enter the room? So search for traps or move. She is going to search for traps in this room. And in this red room, pretty much matching the upper area, there is indeed a swinging blade trap right in the doorway. And that is all for Tiaga. Monster's turn. Let's send one of these skeletons up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Just so that we're not getting all of the monsters out of the rooms. The skeleton swings its scythe at Tiaga, hitting her with a 1. Which she blocks. And up here, we've got a skeleton who, yeah, he can make it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Skeleton swings his scythe at Rowan, but misses. Okay, and the other skeleton won't make it either way, so let's just leave him in the room that he's in. We'll move him 1 forward, but he's not going to make it up to the heroes. Okay, it is now Rana's turn, and let's see if she can get rid of this swinging blade trap. As long as this isn't a black shield, she's good. She attempts to disarm the trap, and she is successful. That is both of her actions for this turn. Sir Rowan, on the other hand, finds himself facing a skeleton. Sir Rowan swings his battle axe and hits that skeleton with a 3, which is as close to a skilled strike as we're getting. That skeleton can't block that hit. However, it is sustained by Zargon's flame. With Sir Rowan's other action, he searches this room for traps and discovers that there were none other than the swinging blade trap that Rana just disarmed. Moving right back down here, we are now at Valerna, who finds herself pretty much in the same situation that she was last turn. There is nothing she can do other than try to disarm, or try to destroy the monster in the doorway. Shooting an arrow from her short bow, she hits the skeleton with a 1, which it blocks. Ooh, Valerna's starting to get a little bit unlucky with the dice rolls here now too. And again, just like last time, there's nothing really that she can do. Let's see if Tiaga has better luck. Tiaga swings her broadsword at the skeleton, hitting it with a 1. It does not block. And it is consumed by Zargon's flame. Tiaga is in the unfortunate position that Sir Rowan was in, or Rana actually, sorry, was in earlier, where the best she could do right now is she could step on that trap on purpose and hope that she doesn't roll a skull. I think that would be pretty silly. Ooh, no, you know what? Okay, never mind. She did. She rolled a tier 2 earth spell called Disarm Traps. However, this only disarms traps that are in the same room as she is. So unfortunately, that is ineffective. Excuse me. Yeah, I don't think there's anything really that she can do that's going to help. She's already searched this room for everything that can be searched for from her current position. It would be silly for her to step on that trap on purpose. I think we're just going to leave it. Okay, monster's turn. We are going to move this skeleton 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, even though it doesn't quite make it up to the doorway. At least it's a little bit better positioned. And I think we will also move the Ocean Abomination that we can see right at the edge here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll just kind of let the Abomination take over for the skeletons that were in that room. Up here, we have a couple of monsters that can do some stuff. First off, the skeleton that is already adjacent to Rowan swings its scythe and misses him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Secondly, the second skeleton, that's a lot of seconds in one sentence, swings its scythe at Rana, hitting her with a 1, which she blocked like crazy. And then we're going to do the same thing here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we'll just let this Abomination kind of take over as the monster in that particular room. All right, it is now Rana's turn, and she needs to kill that skeleton. Let's see if she can do it. Swinging her battle axe, she hits that skeleton with a critical hit of 4, which is also a skilled strike. And the monster is consumed by Zargon's flame. I think, let's see, what are we going to do? Because there's a chest there that somebody needs to search. She can't do it yet, but she could position herself to do it on the next turn. Is she going to position herself at the chest or move into the next room? She is going to position herself at the chest. Okay, Sir Rowan also needs to destroy a skeleton. Swinging his battle axe, he hits that skeleton with a 2, which it does not block. And the skeleton is consumed by Zargon's flame. That's going to leave Rowan open to head up towards that Abomination. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is he going to stop because of traps? No, he is not. 5, 6. He got real lucky that there are no traps on either of those squares. He can't do anything about the Abomination yet, but we will see what happens with that on the next turn. Down here, we are finally in a position where one of them can make an attempt at getting rid of that trap. Let's go ahead and let Valerna make an attempt at it and see what happens. 1, 2. Valerna attempts to disarm this trap. As long as this is a shield of either color, she's good. And unfortunately, she has triggered it. The blade swings down, hitting her with a 1 and knocking her backwards into the square that she was already in. This drops her to 11 body points. Maybe she should have shot at the skeleton, I don't know. All right, let's see if Tiaga has better luck. Tiaga moves forward 1 square and attempts to disarm the trap. She is also unsuccessful. The blade swings down, hitting Tiaga with a critical hit of 2, dropping her to 8 body points and pushing her back into the square she was in before, ending her turn. Monster's turn. We're going to have the skeleton just go ahead and approach, swinging its scythe and hitting Tiaga with a 1, which she also does not block, dropping her to 7 body points. That's kind of frustrating. She had a really bad turn just there. And up in the other part of the map, we have Sir Rowan fighting an Ocean Abomination now. The Ocean Abomination thrusts its spear, hitting Rowan with a 2. He blocks 1, but not the other, dropping him to 6 body points. Ooh, Rana also doesn't really have any healing to give him. She's got a potion, but that was supposed to be for her. He better watch it. He's playing a little too dangerously. All right, that is going to take us back to the hero's turn. So there is, I'm sure you can see, there's a Chaos Warrior here too who could technically also get up there, but I don't want to empty all the rooms out. So if Rowan has managed not to kill that Ocean Abomination on the next turn, I don't think that Chaos Warrior is going to show very much restraint. We'll give it 1 turn to let it continue guarding the room that it's in, and then we'll see what happens. Now we are back to Rana, who is going to start this turn by searching that chest for treasure. And in that chest, she finds a potion of healing and 50 gold coins. Very nice. That's going to put us up to 1,165, as well as giving her a potion of healing, which she should probably pass over to Rowan, the way that he is playing. But for now, we'll go ahead and stick that in her inventory. She can then move. Could she shoot at the Ocean Abomination from where she's at? She could, but where's the fun in that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We'll go ahead and place her in a position to help, should it be necessary. All right, Sir Rowan swings his battle axe at the Abomination, hitting it with a 2. Get out of there. The Abomination does not block either hit, and it is consumed by Zargon's flame. Down here at the other part of the board, we have, well, we've got a problem now because neither of them can attempt to disarm that trap while there is a skeleton on it, so let's see if they can kill it. Oh, geez. Valerna fires an arrow from her short bow, hitting that skeleton with a 1, which the skeleton does not block, and it is consumed by Zargon's flame. Oh, geez. Now, unfortunately, she can't attempt to disarm that trap. Now, we could brute force it because this she could step on it, and it's gonna trigger, and then she could take whatever damage it hands. But that would be the 3rd time it triggers, which means it is gone. You know what? She can spare the body points. I think we're gonna do it. Ooh, you know what? She got hit by that trap before. That broke her rock skin, and I did not take it off. So she no longer has the rock skin. Okay, 1, 2. Stepping on the trigger one last time, the blade falls. But she manages to jump out of the way. This time, jumping forward, and also the blade sticks in the wall and cannot trigger again. She got real lucky there. Okay, technically she can take her other action too. Now the only thing she can't search this room for treasure because there's a chest. Right, okay. There is, however, this Ocean Abomination that is a little further over that is within her range to shoot at, so let's give that a try. No, I lied. She doesn't have a second action. She killed that skeleton, and then she moved. Gotta remember this stuff. Okay, Tiaga, on the other hand, we're not even gonna roll her for movement because I want her to be the one to search for treasure. So she's gonna walk up to this chest. She's gonna search it for treasure. This is going to interact with her treasure hunter skill, by the way. This is essentially just going to put more stuff in the chest. Excuse me. So what is naturally in that chest is another 50 coins, which is going to bump us up to 1,215. And she is also, because that was one reward, but she is supposed to get 3, she is also going to get 2 additional treasure cards. And again, she's got to take them whatever they are, be it trap, wandering monster, potion, or gold. What else has she found? Okay, the first thing is that she's found poison. She's accidentally triggers a spring-loaded mechanism, which crushes the glass vial and showers her in a stinging purple liquid. It's poison. Roll 1 combat dice. If it lands on a skull, she loses 1 body point. On any other result, she is unharmed. Now, we do have 2 heroes in this quest with anti-poison quills, but Tiaga is not one of them. So let's go ahead and roll the dice. She is unharmed by the poison. The other thing she found is a heroic brew, which means she took home all the winnings. And she's taken home double the winnings because she has 2 of those. We definitely need to get her using up some of these cards. She's getting a lot of stuff in her inventory, and she doesn't need it all. So we need to remember to use some of that up, and also if any of you wants to hit her, well, okay, I was going to say hit her with an item swap, but the targeted hero is random, so that if it doesn't target her, then it doesn't help. So actually, never mind. We need to use that stuff up. Okay, that's going to take us through the monster's turn, which means that that Ocean Abomination is definitely coming in here after the hero that just tried to mess with it. 1, 2, 3, 4. The Ocean Abomination thrusts its spear at Valerna, hitting her with a 1, which she blocks just barely. And I think, so there's a Chaos Warrior up there in that kind of yellowy room, but I think we'll leave it alone for now. It is the one problem with the door alarm causing a bunch of monsters to spawn thing is that, you know, that just either we leave the monsters in the room when it doesn't make a bunch of sense, or we end up with a whole bunch of empty rooms. So, yeah, it's a weird balance to try and strike. This monster is going to go ahead and come up here to attack Rana. Chaos Warrior is swinging its axe at the dwarf and hitting her with a 3, which she manages to block just barely. Not an extra shield to be seen. Okay, that's going to take us right on back to her, and she is going to attempt to destroy this Chaos Warrior. I'm also realizing that the room they're standing in has not been searched for anything at all, so they got real lucky that there were no traps on any of the squares they stepped on. Swinging her battle axe, she hits the Chaos Warrior with a 3, which the Chaos Warrior nearly defends, but doesn't quite. But it is sustained by Zargon's Flame, and well it should. It deserves that after rolling just about total defense for that. With her other action, Rana can search the room she's in for traps, or secret doors, or treasure, or she could search the blue room for traps or secret doors. So keep in mind, you can't search a room for treasure if there's a monster in it. There is not a monster in that particular room. So any of these 5 options, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that is indeed searching the room she's standing in for treasure. So let's see what she finds. Okay, after picking a lock on a strange-looking stone in the wall, Rana finds a hidden compartment. Inside that compartment is 300 coins. There are only 2 of these cards in the entire treasure deck, and she's managed to pick a lock and find 300 coins while also battling a Chaos Warrior. Respect to Rana, because that's pretty wild. 1,515 is what that puts us up to. So with one hand, Rana blocks hits, while with the other hand, she's picking a lock. Meanwhile, Rowan is fumbling over his boot, which came untied. And he's not 100% sure how to retie it, but he's gonna get it, darn it. All right, poor Rowan is also going to fire at that Chaos Warrior in an attempt to help Rana. Firing an arrow from his crossbow hits the Chaos Warrior with a 1, and it doesn't defend. And it is consumed by Zargon's Flame. All right, Rowan, you know what? I made fun of you pretty hard there, but that was a good hit. Good job. One more action left for him. He can search this room for secret doors. We've stepped on every relevant square. We don't need to search for traps. I probably shouldn't have even included that in Rana. Search this room for secret doors or leave the room are his two options, and he is indeed going to leave the room, which is rather stupid because he can't stop on that square to search for traps. But, you know, 1, 2, 3. Is he stopping here and searching for traps? Yes. He does not have the action to do so, but he is going to stop right there. Okay. Coming back down here, we find ourselves here with Valyria in combat with an ocean abomination. She swings her longsword, hitting the abomination with a 1, which it blocks. Unfortunate for Valyria, and yet again, there's not really anything that it makes sense for her to use as far as her spells go. Courage would be wasted here. Arrows of the Night would definitely be wasted. Dispel wouldn't work. Rain of Restoration is silly because nobody needs those points. Pass Through Rock, she doesn't have the movement to actually use. So, yeah. All right. Well, it's unfortunate, but I do believe we are going to just leave her there, and we are going to take it over to Tiaga, who is over here in this room. And we are going to start off her turn by firing at that Ocean Abomination. Hitting it with a 2, which it does not defend, and it is consumed by Zargon's Flame. Get in there. Okay, Tiaga then is free to move unless she's going to cast any of her spells, which may not be a bad idea. I do think we're going to have her go ahead and drink the potion of defense that she's got. This is going to give her 2 extra defense dice just for the next time she gets hit. So the next time she needs to defend, we'll try and remember that. Just in an effort to clear out her inventory a little. I don't want her to hoard potions. That makes treasure searches worse. And these potions of defense are the ones that I tend to forget to use. So we'll have her do that. Drinking a potion is not an action. So especially being that she's got some extra defense, we'll move her up here. 1 and 2. Moving her, essentially. Monster's turn. Okay, I don't think that we can justify leaving that Chaos Warrior up there when it should be able to make it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Never mind. Actually, it can't make it to either of those heroes. I think we will leave it because they are going to be moving closer to it after its next turn. Ooh, you know what? That Chaos Warrior is also fairly close to Rowan and Rana. Can it make it to them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No. It's just barely missing both sets of heroes, so I think it will stay put. And in that case, no monsters on the board. We are going to move it back to Rana Ruvan up there in that top room. We are going to start her turn with a secret door search in the brown room, and there are none. She is the last hero crossing through that room, so we needed to make sure that happened. And then we are going to move her down into the blue room unless she wants to search for traps. So traps or move. She's moving. Not worried about traps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and she got really lucky that none of the relevant squares there contained any traps. That was her 2 actions, so she can't fire at the Chaos Warrior despite being close enough to it. It is now Rowan's turn. He doesn't need to search for traps, but we do need to do secret doors and treasure. So his options, secret doors, treasure, leave. He's doing secret doors, and there are none in this blue room. Second action, treasure or leave. He's going treasure. Just getting some searches done. Let's see, what has Rowan found in the room with the torture rack? He finds a small wooden box. It's simple looking and very old. Within, he discovers that it is lined with velvet and contains very small jewels worth 50 coins. Very nice. I believe, again, that is the original 50 coin text. We've run into 2 of those cards. That puts us up to 1,565 gold. We are getting the gold in this quest, too. Kind of wild. All right, that's going to take us back down to the ladies down here, starting with Valyria the Elf. Yep, we've searched this red room all out. So 1, 2, is she going to stop and search for traps? Yes, she is. Are there any traps in the blue room? No, there are not. There is something fancy about that alchemy bench, though, by the looks of it. Okay, nothing we need to worry about yet. Tiaga, also moving. 1, 2, 3. Tiaga, what are we doing now that we are in this room? Actually, I think we'll even go 4, 5. Are we going to stop and search for secret doors, stop and search for treasure, or turn and fire at that Chaos Warrior? She is going to stop and search for secret doors. The thing I was particularly hoping she wasn't going to do, but that's what's happened. There are no secret doors in that room. That means it is the monster's turn, and we are definitely moving that Chaos Warrior. The question is, are we moving it towards Tiaga or moving it towards Rana? And that Chaos Warrior is already looking down here at Tiaga. It sees that she is the bearer of the Talisman of Lore. Whether or not that's still relevant is questionable. However, the Chaos Warrior rushes her and swings its axe, hitting her with a 1. Thanks to her potion of defense, her defense is slightly boosted. But she still doesn't block the attack. Taking that 1 body point of damage and dropping her to 6. Oh, that's some hilarious rolling right there. Let me tell you what. Okay, that's going to put us right back up at the heroes. So let's get Rana and Rowan moving. Excuse me, no further searching needs to be done in that blue room. So let's get her moving. She is looking out into a hallway that we actually haven't seen yet. I'm going to move this camera out of the way, and we're going to take a look here. Now that we are a little less focused on what's going on with these monsters, looking down this hallway, we already know about the 2 walls that are down here. However, there is also a door right there. Oh yes, there is also another wall I've nearly missed, which is this one right here. So Rana has a couple of options here that she can do. We've rolled her to move, but that was before I remembered she's looking into an area that we technically haven't seen yet. She can search that hallway for traps, search it for secret doors, or ignore the hallway and move into the yellow room. I guess she could also ignore searching and just walk down the hallway, couldn't she? So let's recap there, because I'm going to forget. Search the hallway for traps, search the hallway for secret doors, move down the hallway towards that door despite not having searched, or move down into the yellowish room. And she is searching the hallway for traps. Okay, kind of good that she did. Not that these traps are a super huge deal, but there are indeed 3 spear traps in this hallway. 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. Okay, Rana, second action. Secret doors, heading down that hallway, heading into the yellow room. She is heading into the yellow room. Now, we already rolled her a movement, so let's do that. 1, is she stopping here? No. 2, 3, 4, and 5, so she's headed up towards that Chaos Warrior, despite the fact she doesn't have the action to attack it. Luckily, none of those squares were trapped. So Rowan, also up there in the blue room, has several options once he gets up to that hallway. He's rolled some pretty good movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, is he taking his 8th movement into the yellow room or towards that door? And one could argue that he is not needed in that yellow room. You know what? We're not going to card this. We're going to start working towards that door, because we got 3 heroes down here in this area. He's not needed down there. Okay, that takes us to Valerna. Now, she had stopped there with the intention of searching for traps. I think she did search for traps. There we go. So let's get her up to that Dread Warrior, or at least close to it. She doesn't attack any better at close range, so maybe we go 1, 2, and just let her shoot at it. Putting an arrow in her short bow, she hits the Chaos Warrior with a 2. It blocks 1, but not the other. And it is consumed by Zargon's flame. Okay, this actually quite perfectly leaves Tiaga open to be the one to search this blue room for treasure. Sorry, I'm having some acid reflux again, so I'm coughing much more than normal. This is going to be the 3rd out of 5 fancy treasure searches she gets. And what she finds is 3 random spell scrolls on the alchemy bench. Now, that is the normal treasure search, which means she is also going to get 2 treasure cards in addition to this. Here we have our spell scroll deck. We're going to draw some cards to see which 3 she gets. First off, the 10th card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 is a Ball of Flame scroll. Like she needs more cards. The 13th card, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 is Lightning Bolt Scroll. And the last one she's getting here is card number 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, which is a Sleep Scroll. Now I do think we need to complete this treasure search before we do this. She's got too much stuff. She's got plenty of stuff. She is standing adjacent to Valerna, and neither of them are adjacent to a monster, which means she can pass items. However, we need to finish the treasure search before we do that. So 2 more treasure cards because of the treasure hunter spell. She has also discovered a wandering monster. Oh, make that 2 wandering monster. And rather unfortunately, the wandering monster in this quest is a Dread Warrior. So she's just triggered 2 Dread Warriors, both of which are also Zargon's Flame monsters. The only 2 squares adjacent to her are these 2, and they are both going to attack her immediately. The first swings its mace, hitting Tiago with a 1, which she does not block, dropping her to 5. The second Dread Warrior hits her with a 1, which again she does not block, dropping her to 4. That's kind of ridiculous. Okay, well, unfortunately she's no longer not adjacent to a monster, so we can't pass off these scrolls. I'm not going to write them on her sheet yet, though, because I do want her to pass them off. She doesn't need spell scrolls, and she's got a whole bunch of junk already. She's got enough room in her inventory to carry them for now, but I want her to pass them off at some point. Okay, now, she can attack one of these guys because the only thing she's done is search for treasure, so she can totally spend her other action attacking one of these guys, and she is going to attack the one that she's looking at already. Swinging her broadsword, she hits the Dread Warrior with a 3. It blocks 1, takes the other 2, and it is consumed by Zargon's Flame. Okay, we are at monster's turn, and this Dread Warrior has already attacked on this turn cycle, so it cannot attack again. We are now at Rana the Dwarf, who is handily already adjacent to this monster. She swings her battle axe, hitting it with a 3. It does not block any of those 3, but it is sustained by Zargon's Flame. That is totally fine, honestly. Rana, with her other action, can spend some time searching this room for something. She's already stepped on every relevant square for traps, so we don't need to do that. She could search for treasure, but honestly, I would much prefer Tiaga to do that, to maximize our use of the treasure hunter spell. So let's force Rana into searching for secret doors in this room, and there are none. Meanwhile, Sir Rowan. Now we got a couple of weird options for this, okay? Sir Rowan could try to disarm that spear trap. However, it is the same odds as successfully jumping over it. So if he were to play it safe, he could try to disarm these traps one at a time. Or he could do a bum rush, and if he doesn't roll a skull, run right through all 3 of these traps. And I'm kind of feeling like that's the way to go, with the only potential downside being he's only got 6 body points left and he doesn't have any other healing things. So 100%, Valerna's got a healing spell and Tiaga's got a healing spell. One of them needs to use a spell on him regardless of what happens. But I'm kind of feeling like he tries to run through the spears, right? Yeah, he's not particularly concerned with safety according to his personality chart. I don't know, anybody have any votes there? What does Rowan do in this situation? Does he just say screw it and try and run through all of them? Or does he play it safe and try to do them one at a time? Is that a silly question? I'll tell you what, you guys throw what you think in the chat. I'm gonna hit you with the be right back screen for just a second. I kinda need to go to the bathroom. I'm gonna grab another pop. You guys let me know what you think Rowan should do. Should he try to run through all 3 spear traps, or should he play it safe? I will be right back. Okay, back in action. Okay, by the looks of it, we are going to card this up. Anybody, any suggestions on what Rowan should do here? Whew! Let me just take some nice big old man breaths. Used to be able to run up and down a flight of stairs without being out of breath, but those days are behind me, I'm afraid. Okay. Now that I'm finished being super old, let's continue on. Okay, we're going to card this up. So red, he's going to play it safe. Black, he's going to run through the traps. Looks like he is playing it safe, my friends. Let's move him forward 1 square and see if he can successfully disarm this trap. As long as this is a shield, he's good to go. He is indeed good to go. On that 1 trap. There we go. Opened the wrong drawer. Nothing wrong with that. Opened the wrong camera. There we go. Okay, down here we are now at Valerna, who is going to make an attempt at getting rid of that Dread Warrior. Shooting an arrow from her short bow, she totally misses, making it the 2nd time this quest that we have rolled 3 black shields on every dice. That's ridiculous. 3 dice, 3 shields. Statistically, that should be an extremely rare occurrence. It's happened twice tonight. Nothing else she can do, right? Yeah. Tiaga's getting to a point she might need a healing spell. She does have some healing stuff, but it may not be a bad idea. I think I would like to use all of these spells up, so let's go ahead and do it. She's got a free action. Valerna is going to cast Rain of Restoration on Tiaga, which is going to heal Tiaga 5 body points. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, which is going to put Tiaga back up to 9 points total. And it is now Tiaga's turn. Tiaga swings her broadsword at the the Dread Warrior, hitting it with a critical hit of 3. It does not block any of those hits, and it is consumed by Zargon's flame. Okay, that's going to free her up to go ahead and head up into that yellow room for the purpose of searching it for treasure. 1, 2, 3, 4. And everybody else needs to head towards that central room. No monsters on the board, which means we are headed for the boss room. Now, Zargon's Flame might be making these monsters kind of flimsy, but there are still a very not small amount of monsters in that room, including Fellmarak himself, so this should still be a fairly interesting fight. Rana. The only thing left to do in the yellow room is search for treasure. We're going to let Tiaga do that, so let's see if we can help Rowan get rid of some of those traps. That is not an amazing movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, she didn't make it to a trap, so I guess what we'll do is search this hallway for secret doors. There are none. Rowan. Well, I guess Rowan is going to make an attempt again at getting rid of this trap right here. Unfortunately, this time he is not successful. Trying to jump over the spear catches him anyway, hitting him for a single body point of damage, dropping him to 5. The trap is gone still, but it did hit him. He does have another action, but there is nothing really for him to do, so we'll leave it. Yeah. He is definitely going to be in need of some level of healing spell by the looks of it. All right, that takes us to Valerna, still down here in the blue room. Let's just hope she gets a pretty decent roll here. 6 is not super great. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She's at least made it up to the hallway, but nothing else to do from her current position. Finally, Tiaga is going to search that yellow room for treasure using the 4th of her 5 treasure hunter spell searches. Regular treasure cards this time, so 1, 2, and 3. Let's see what she finds. First thing is a Dread Warrior. Second thing, a Wolfsbane potion, and this is useless to them right at the moment, so she'll probably sell this at the end of the quest. And the last thing, she finds a piece of parchment folded into an envelope carefully hidden on a high shelf. Inside is a hastily scrawled note in the language of mountain orcs, as well as 15 gold coins. All right, well, let me get this all put together. That's going to put us up to 1,580 coins total. It's going to give her a Wolfsbane potion that I'm not going to write on her chart because we're going to sell that at the end of the quest. And it's going to drop another Dread Warrior straight onto her poor, short, unsuspecting head. Dread Warrior immediately swings its mace, hitting Tiago with a 2, which she does not block, dropping her to 7 body points. Ouch, she is not doing good on the blocking. Right on back to the hero's turn now. It is time for Rana the Dwarf, and again, I don't think there's really any need for her to turn around and help here. I think she's good to go. Let's see if she can get rid of that last spear trap. 1, 2, 3. She is among the only hero that is actually worth trying to disarm this trap rather than jump over it. As long as this is not a black shield, she's good to go. She is good. Last spear trap is out of that hallway, and now it's just about rushing the boss door, which is exactly what Rowan's going to do, clearly being the smartest of everybody present. Oh, real quick, actually, before we do that, we are going to have Rana pass Rowan a potion of healing. So she found this potion of healing. She is adjacent to him, and neither of them are adjacent to a monster. So without using an action, she can actually pass that potion of healing over to him, just kind of as some insurance. He's a little low on body points, and, well, he's been doing some dumb stuff tonight. 1, 2, 3, and 4 means that he is indeed finding himself at the boss door. Actually, let me change cameras for the boss room. Here we go. Opening the door, Sir Rowan finds an altar. We'll go ahead and put Fellmarak down first. It's fairly obviously Fellmarak, the Sorcerer King, surviving thanks to Zargon's flame, is behind the altar. Also in this room are 2 skeletons, here and here, 2 mummies, here and here, and a gargoyle. We'll go, since this is Zargon's flame, we'll go ahead and use the gargoyle that is actually meant for this, which is the Prophecy of Telor translucent gargoyle that looks like Tiaga's demon form. Right here. All of these monsters, including Fellmarak, are here thanks to Zargon's flame. However, Fellmarak himself will be tougher to defeat. Excuse me. He does have 0 body points exactly like all of the other monsters. However, whenever he is hit, we roll 2 movement dice. If a 5 or 6 is rolled on either dice, Fellmarak is unharmed. So that's what we're going with there. We might go ahead and give him 1 extra dice, again, because of level 3 difficulty. He's supposed to have an extra body point and a potion of healing because of level 3 difficulty, but he doesn't have any body points, so there's no point in getting an extra one or having a potion of healing. So in that case, we'll just give him a 3rd dice he can try to roll a 5 or a 6 on. Okay, Sir Rowan, are we stopping here to search for traps? No. Are we shooting at somebody? Because barging would be awfully stupid in this case. Yes, he is going to shoot. Okay, who's he gonna shoot at is the next question. So we've got 5 potential targets. He cannot shoot at Fellmarak yet, but any of these targets in this row are good to go. We'll go from top to bottom. King is not helpful. Ace, so he's just gonna shoot at that skeleton up at the top. Get rid of one of the lower monsters. Nothing wrong with that. Rowan fires an arrow from his crossbow, but misses. Well, there is kind of something wrong with that, Rowan. If you're gonna fire at the weakest monster in the room, at least hit it. Okay, I don't think Valerna's going to get all the way up to the action in that room if we roll her, so maybe she ought to be trying to help Tiago with his Dread Warrior. I think I want to roll some movement dice and see. Is that cheating if we roll the movement dice and see if she gets a good roll or a bad roll? Tiago ought to be able to handle this Dread Warrior without any problem, right? I mean, that'd be kind of ridiculous if she can't. Valerna would absolutely be better used in that upper room. Well, in that case, I think we're just going to move her 1, and we're going to have her fire at that Dread Warrior, because that roll was absolutely pathetic. Firing an arrow from her short bow, she hits the Dread Warrior with a 2. The Dread Warrior blocks 1, but not the other, and is sustained by Zargon's Flame. Ooh. That leaves us with Tiago, who is also going to make an attempt at getting rid of this Dread Warrior, swinging her broadsword, hitting it with a 3 critical hits. It blocks only 1 of those hits and is consumed by Zargon's Flame. We'll use Tiago's other roll to move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Up here closer to Sir Rowan. Let's go ahead and switch the camera angle here. So we got everybody but Valerna in this camera angle. Okay, which monster is coming up there to attack Sir Rowan? King is not helpful, and it was the last card in the deck. That figures. Okay, hold on. Let me shuffle this deck here real quick. Okay, which monster is coming to attack Sir Rowan? It's gonna be that skeleton that he shot at. 1, 2, 3, 4. The skeleton's like, listen here, okay? I'm really not the big threat in this room, but swinged scythe, it hits Sir Rowan with a 1. Which he doesn't block. That figures. Dropping him to 4 body points. Okay, well, that's what you get, Rowan, buddy. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Rowan is also just barely within range of Fellmarak casting a spell. Now, Fellmarak also has 2 actions. He can move and attack, or move and cast a spell, or attack and cast a spell. Now, he doesn't need to move. He's not close enough to anybody to attack, but he can totally cast a spell on anybody that's within 6 blocks of him, and Rowan is. So let's see what spell Fellmarak is going to cast, because he has all of these at his ability here. So essentially, Fellmarak can't run out of magic. What spell is Fellmarak going to cast? We're going 10 spells down into the pile. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Sleep is what we drew. This spell puts any one hero into a deep sleep. A sleeping hero is unable to move, attack, or defend themselves. The spell can be broken immediately or on a future turn by the hero rolling 1 movement dice for each of their mind points. If a 6 is rolled, the spell is broken. How many mind points does Rowan have? He's a pretty new hero. He's only got 4. So let's see if he is capable of breaking this spell. We're going to roll 4 movement dice, and if any of them is a 6, he has immediately broken this spell. Yes, indeed, Sir Rowan is just strong enough of mind to fend off a sleep spell. But will he continue to be that lucky is the question. Back to the front of the hero line, it is now Rana the dwarf's turn. She steps forward and fits an arrow into her crossbow, firing at the skeleton, hitting it with a 2, which the skeleton does not defend. It is sustained by Zargon's Flame. Ouch. Alright, it's time to break out all the big guns. Sir Rowan uses his concentrated attack skill. For the next 3 times he attacks, he is going to roll 2 additional attack dice. His first of these attacks is against the skeleton, swinging his battle axe and hitting the skeleton with a 1. Which somehow the skeleton does not defend. And the skeleton is consumed by Zargon's Flame. I was literally just thinking, you know what, maybe I should have saved the concentrated attack because a skeleton is not really worth that. And then he just basically got lucky. Okay, so Rowan, are we searching for traps or moving into the room? He is moving into the room. I'm a little more comfortable with that since all the heroes are also headed this way. It's still a dumb thing to do. I don't want him completely surrounded, but he does attack much better at close range. Let's put him in a corner. 1, 2, 3, and we'll let him stay there. Luckily, none of those squares are trapped. Okay, moving on, it is Valerna's turn, and Valerna is the only one who is not on camera right now. She is a little bit too far away. Let's move her up, and hopefully she can get up into the room. Yeah, that should be enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, just in the doorway, and she has a couple of handy spells. She's got a courage spell that would be very nice. She's got Dispel, which would force Fellmarak to discard a spell, which I guess we could do, but it's not really gonna make much difference. She's got Arrows of the Night, which might guarantee... No, you know what? Thanks to the Zargon's Flame mechanic, Arrows of the Night is not gonna be super helpful against Fellmarak, because they've only got to score 1 hit on him. Okay, tell you what we're gonna do. We are going to have her cast Arrows of the Night on that gargoyle, and we're going to hope that that means we can at least get rid of that guy before anything too terrible happens. So, Valerna casts Arrows of the Night, causing 5 body points of damage on the gargoyle. It does have a chance to defend this attack. It only blocks 1, taking 4 points of that damage, and it is sustained by Zargon's Flame. There you go. There I was worried that this mechanic made the monsters too flimsy, but that did allow that monster to sustain a pretty bad hit from a spell that otherwise would have killed it. If this were normal body points, that guy would be dead right now. But in this particular case, they got kind of lucky. Okay, that leaves us with Tiaga, who is also going to go ahead and head in there and see what she can do. She's also got a couple of spells that will be helpful, but I'd actually kind of rather her attack. Okay, here's what we're going to do with her. She's got a Heroic Brew she's going to go ahead and drink. This allows her to attack twice as a single action. We'll go ahead and erase that off of her character sheet. She is going to move into the room and make 2 attacks. Okay, 1, 2. She's going to move into the doorway of the room, not quite in there, but she is still within line of sight of everybody other than Fellmarak. The first monster she is aiming her attack at is the skeleton down at the bottom. She sends a blast of energy from her redwood wand, hitting the skeleton with a 2. The skeleton doesn't block either hit, and it is consumed by Zargon's Flame. She also is going to attack the gargoyle, sending a blast of energy from her redwood wand at the gargoyle, hitting it with a critical hit of 3. The gargoyle blocks only 1 of those hits and is consumed by Zargon's Flame. Yep, still a little bit too back and forth, honestly. I mean, Zargon's Flame helped it survive that spell, but then it got killed by an not even arguably weaker spell. Okay, the monster's turn is suddenly looking a little bit more pathetic, but we can definitely get some hits in here. The mummy throws a fist at Sir Rowan, hitting him with a 2, and he does not block either of those, dropping him to 2 body points. Good thing we gave him that potion. He's about to need it. The other mummy comes and throws a fist at Valerna, hitting her with a 2, which she blocks. Fellmarak. I think we're going to move him out of line of sight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, you know what? He can actually get close range on Valerna, but then he can't cast a spell. I'd rather him cast a spell. 6, 7. Dang it. So he's at least out of line of sight of Tiaga unless she walks into the room. Sorry, 1 second. Ugh. What started out as a acid reflux cough ended up being a I swallowed spit the wrong way cough. Fellmarak is also going to cast a spell. We are going to go 8 spells down into the pile. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Which is Lightning Bolt. Oh man, we positioned him perfectly for that. I guess actually if we had left him where he was, it would have been even more devastating. Oh well, he's still hitting 2 heroes with this. This spell may be cast in a horizontal, vertical, or diagonal direction. The bolt will travel in a straight line until it strikes a wall or closed door and inflicts 2 body points of damage on all heroes or monsters that stand in its path. That should be all heroes and monsters, actually. That's probably something I should note. So we've positioned him so that he is not hitting either of his monsters, but he is hitting both of the heroes that we can see there. So Valerna and Sir Rowan are both struck by lightning, causing 2 body points of damage, dropping Valerna to 9 and technically killing Sir Rowan, except that at the last moment he drinks the potion of healing that was handed to him, bringing him back up to 4 body points and leaving him now without any insurance. So somebody needs to heal him, or he needs to be a lot more careful. Of course, the monsters currently are not quite so bad. So I guess we'll see what happens. Either way, that was a pretty devastating spell. Okay, back to the front. We are now at Rana the Dwarf. And I do believe we're going to put her right up against the big guy himself. Does she have any sort of extra things? She does. She has a potion of strength. Now, I'm not sure how much it's going to help her, but she does still need to push through his defense to hit a single time. So she is going to drink her potion of strength, which gives her 2 extra attack dice just for this one attack. She swings her battle axe with all of her might at Fellmarak, hitting him with only 2. His defense dice actually isn't all that great. He does not block either of those hits. We're going to roll 3 dice, and as long as there is a 5 or 6 somewhere in here, he is sustained. If he is one shot, I swear. Okay, he is sustained by Zargon's flame. This should be at least a little dramatic before he gets taken out, all right? That is going to move us over to Sir Rowan, who is going to utilize his other knight skill, which is the Rallying Call. The knight and every hero in the same room or corridor may roll 2 extra defense dice until there are no longer any monsters in the line of sight. This is going to apply to everybody other than Tiaga, so maybe we should have waited until Tiaga was also in the room. That probably would have made more sense, honestly, but everybody else is getting +2 defense. He is also going to spend his second concentrated attack on the mummy in front of him, swinging his battle axe with a concentrated attack at the mummy, hitting it with a 2, which it does not block, and it is consumed by Zargon's flame. We are then going to move him over here, because using that skill is not an action, so he attacked and then moved as his 2 actions. Excuse me. Gosh. All right, Valerna is going to start her turn by casting Courage on herself. This spell grants the targeted hero 2 extra attack dice. The spell is broken the moment the targeted hero can no longer see any monsters. She swings her short sword at the mummy, hitting it with a 3. It blocks 2 of those hits, but takes the 3rd, and it is consumed by Zargon's flame. Okay, that leaves us with only the big man himself, Malar / Fellmarak, as Zargon's host is approaching. Tiaga enters the room. What does she have? Okay, she actually doesn't have any sort of attacks that will help. She does have that ball of flame scroll she could use, which might be of use. She's got a heroic brew. She does not have a water of healing, because that would have been kind of cool. As Mentor mentioned in the quest text, water of healing bypasses everything and immediately destroys any monster that is using Zargon's Flame. She does have Healing Whirlwind, which is a tier 3 spell that's similar to Water of Healing, but I don't think we should let that count. The quest text didn't mention it. She's got a Heroic Brew. I think we're going to do that. She's going to drink her Heroic Brew, which means she gets to attack twice as a single action. With her first action, she sends a blast of energy at Fellmarak, hitting him with a critical hit of 3. He does not defend any of those hits, but he is sustained by Zargon's Flame. With her second attack, she misses. Ooh. In a way, I was kind of hoping that was going to be it. It would have still been a little bit not dramatic. However, Malar has been tormenting her for this entire book, and it would be pretty neat for her to be the one who finishes him off. Okay, it is now his turn, and he is going to physically attack Rana and then cast a spell. Swinging his flaming sword, he hits Rana with a 1. Come on, buddy. She blocks it just barely. Be a little bit more dangerous than that. Fellmarak, sheesh. And then we are going to go 5 spells down into the pile. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. He is again casting Sleep. Now, he can't see Valerna or Rowan with this spell because Rana and Tiaga are standing in front of them. But either one of them could be the target of the spell. And we are going with Rana. Honestly, I'm kind of glad that's the better option. Tiaga has way too many dice for that. So this does work exactly the same as the version we saw earlier. This is going to render Rana basically useless until she can break the spell. She does get one chance to go ahead and break it immediately. She has 4 mind points. So we're going to roll 4 movement dice. And if a 6 is on one of these, she has broken the spell or she's fought it off. She has indeed fought off the sleep spell. These sleep spells are not being super helpful this quest for these monsters. You guys remember when Tiaga rolled 9 movement dice and still didn't get a 6? Okay, I do kind of wish that had been a little more devastating, if I'm being honest. I guess there's a certain amount of satisfaction in a boss that the heroes have already beaten, thinking he's come back even more powerful than before, and then finding himself just weakened from being beaten once before. Rana swings her battle axe, hitting Fellmarak with a 2. He blocks one, but not the other. But he is sustained by Zargon's Flame. Excuse me. Sir Rowan. I'm going to get him close range. 1, 2, 3. Sir Rowan is using the last of his concentrated attacks. Now, you know what? It would also be pretty awesome, considering I've been ragging on this guy the entire quest, if he finished off the boss. Swinging his battle axe with a concentrated attack, Sir Rowan hits Fellmarak with a 2. Fellmarak does not block either hit, but he is sustained by Zargon's Flame. I just bumped the dice camera really bad. All right, Valerna. Okay, we're going to do something. This is silly, but basically just to use up both of her actions. We are going to start the turn by her casting Dispel on Fellmarak. Now, this is a spell of protection, and this forces him to discard one of his spells at random. Now, he has such a huge pile of spells that this is only going to be vaguely helpful, but you never know. We might be forcing him to discard a really, really useful spell. We're discarding the 8th spell down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So we're, okay, yeah, honestly, that wouldn't have been a big threat, but oh well. So we're forcing him to discard one of the 6 copies of Fear that are in this deck. She is also going to make a regular attack against him, shooting an arrow from her short bow and hitting Fellmarak with a 2, which he doesn't block. He's not even trying to block these, is he? But he is extremely sustained by Zargon's flame. Okay, Tiaga. What are we doing here, Tiaga? Because I feel like we need to do some more shenanigans. Elemental armor would be neat, but I don't think it's necessary. Yeah, let's do this. She is going to start her turn by casting the Healing Whirlwind spell, which is an extremely powerful bit of magic. She is the only hero right at the moment who even has access to this spell. This heals any targeted hero back to their complete full health, and she is going to cast that on Sir Rowan, because he is the lowest, and he is close range to Fellmarak. He could even get one shot where he's at right now. So she is just going to play it safe and return Sir Rowan all the way back up to 10 body points just as a safeguard. And then she is going to make an attack against Fellmarak. Shooting a blast of energy from her Redwood Wand, she hits Fellmarak with a 1. He doesn't block it. And he is consumed by Zargon's flame. Okay, you know what? That was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty happy with that. As much as this quest was a little bit flimsy because of the Zargon's flame thing, there is a certain poetic justice in watching Tiaga blast that guy to smithereens, to be the one to deal the final blow after an entire book of absolute torture, taking her down to 0 body points several times. She was able to be the one to kill Fellmarak. I'm going to mark this quest too, since the heroes defeat him twice. Book 4, Quest 13. And that is not only going to conclude our quest, but conclude this particular book of our campaign, which means tomorrow night we're going to be starting Book 5. However, we are not done with the stream yet, so let's do some cleanup. Let's talk gold, skill sets, and also read the conclusion to Book 4. And boy, we get to put Tiaga away. It has been weeks and weeks since she has been put away. Since she was required to go on literally every quest in this book, she has been out for a while. Getting a bunch of these tiles and cards and stuff put away. Okay, surviving heroes. Thank you for the first time chat. Is it Ovlon? So, don't be afraid to correct my pronunciation. I am famously bad for that. Ovlon asks, what game do you use to play? This is HeroQuest. HeroQuest is a board game that was originally created by Stephen Baker, produced by Milton Bradley and Games Workshop back in the late 80s, early 90s. Produced a whole bunch of expansions, discontinued for a little while, and then in 2021, Hasbro either acquired or already had the rights and let their subsidiary, Avalon Hill, put out a Kickstarter to re-release the game. It was very, very successful, and they've been putting out core sets and brand new expansions and remakes of the old expansions ever since. So we here on Midnight Quest use a mix of the old stuff and the new stuff. Most of what you're looking at is new stuff. Let me go back to the board camera here. This is a 3D version of the game board, by the way, that is made by Dragon's Rest and 3D printed by most people. This is not something you get in the actual game system, but this was something that we printed and then my wife Savannah painted. Alon says, sounds cool. I appreciate it. Yes, I agree. It's got a much bigger community than I thought it did growing up. So I've been playing this game since I was very, very young, long before the Avalon Hill Kickstarter. And, you know, I grew up in an area that didn't play a whole lot of Dungeons and Dragons and that sort of stuff. So I was under the impression for a long time that my dad and I were like the only people who even knew this game existed. Turns out there is a massive, massive community of people playing this game. Now, I'm playing a pretty homebrewed version of it as well. I've made it a little bit more complicated, but it's still kind of HeroQuest at its core, for sure. But by all means, if you've got any other questions about anything, I am happy to answer them. Again, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for checking it out. Thanks for the comment. We've just finished tonight's quest and we're cleaning up. I'm not sure how much how long you've been in, how much you've seen. I'll continue my operations, but again, if you've got any other questions about lore, or about gameplay mechanics, or anything else, by all means, throw them in there. So surviving heroes get 50 coins apiece. That means we usually get a gift of 200 coins at the end of a quest. That is the case in this particular case. I've lost the ability to speak apparently. So we are going up to 1,780 coins total by the looks of it in our community wallet. Surviving heroes are also awarded 2 skill set points, which they have to use immediately. Oh yes, we need to get these scrolls written on somebody's sheet. Let's just split them between the other 3 heroes, now that we're not worried about who's adjacent to who. So Rana will get Ball of Flame, Sir Rowan will get Lightning Bolt. And Valerna will get the Sleep Scroll. There we go. What hour do you use to stream? Excellent question. So we start every single night of the week at midnight Eastern time. So I'm not sure what time zone you're in. I think if you hit the schedule tab on Twitch, it will automatically put the stuff into your time zone. It's midnight Eastern time. And we are streaming every single night of, well, every single night. I was going to say, there's no point in saying of the week. So we do quests of the game on Mondays, Tuesdays, Fridays, and Saturday nights. And then on Sundays and Wednesdays, you'll find my wife here on the same channel painting the miniatures and the furniture and anything that needs painted. And then on Thursday nights, we do like a lore, world building, administrative, or even just kind of like a hangout stream, essentially. Either way, midnight Eastern time, literally every single night, we're here. What happened to that Wolfsbane potion? Somebody got a Wolfsbane potion, and we were going to sell it, but I seem to have misplaced the card somehow. How did I do that? Oh, it's still laying on her sheet. Okay. You know, it's the card that says Wolfsbane potion on it. Avlon says, need to go, but you sound like a cool guy. See you soon. Very much appreciated, Avlon. Yeah, definitely come hang out with us again, for sure. I really, really appreciate that. I see our follower number went up. Sorry if the thing didn't trigger. We're supposed to have a little animatic trigger when somebody follows. So if that was you, thank you very much. I've noticed Twitch doesn't always tell me when it happens. I will hit you with a follow as well. I'd like to check out what everybody else is doing as well. Okay, we're definitely going to sell off this Wolfsbane potion. This is something that's going to come of use later on, but we don't need it right now. Really, the only reason it's in the treasure deck is for the sake of selling it. Looks like we get 75 coins for one of those. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll go ahead and put it in the discard pile. Give us another 75 coins here. That's going to put us up to, oh, math on camera. Not fun. One moment here. That is going to put us at 855, so 1,885 total coins. Ugh, math on camera. Okay. Surviving heroes also get 2 skill sets apiece, which they must use immediately, and we're going to pull out our skill set charts. There are 6 different skill set categories. There are 10 levels in each of those categories. Each of the hero classes are affected by those levels differently, and there's also not a reward for every single level. So we'll randomize what skill set points these 4 heroes get, see if it gets them anything, and even if it doesn't get them anything, it still kind of works them towards some good stuff. Because there's never not something for maxing out a category. So there's no point in continuing up any particular tree. Okay, Rana. This was Rana's 7th ever quest. She's still one of our newer heroes. She actually didn't get damaged at all, which is fairly... that makes sense. There wasn't a ton of monsters, honestly. She's got a lot of defense dice, and she stayed out of the way, to be totally honest with you. She just wasn't really in the line of fire all that often. Her skill sets are going to be... She's going for Magic Memorization level 1, Now, magic memorization allows the heroes to get more spells and also pick the spells by name rather than them being randomized. However, as a dwarf, she's not very naturally magical, so there is no reward for that level. She's got to get pretty high up in there before she starts actually getting magic. Her other point is going to be, give me a card we can use, Constitution level 5. Constitution increases their body points. There is no reward for level 5. She'll get another body point at level 7. So no specific reward for Rana tonight. However, a very good quest. She was very, very handy, even if she wasn't in the action enough to actually get hit. Sir Rowan. Now, Sir Rowan got the snot beat out of him, honestly. Now, he's ended the quest with 10 body points thanks to the Healing Whirlwind spell, but he also did a lot of real dumb stuff in this quest, to be totally honest with you. Not super happy with his performance overall, but he did have, at the end of the day, he had a positive effect on the quest. Used all 3 of his skills, beat a lot of monsters, just did a lot of dumb stuff. So let's see what he got. His first point tonight is going to be Machinery level 3, which is definitely handy. Yes, indeed, that means that he can disarm a trap as if he has a toolkit, but he doesn't need one anymore. So we can sell his toolkit off. We don't even have any heroes that need a toolkit anymore. So he has toolkit disarm. He just has the natural ability to disarm traps now. I think that gives us another 125 coins. Is that correct? Yes, it is. Selling his toolkit is going to give us another bit of coins. Oh no, this math is so ridiculous. Okay, 90, that's going to put us at 1,910 coins. Another thing to throw out there real quick, just in case, if any of you are ever, if you ever catch that I've done math wrong, call me out in the comments. I'm not trying to do it. I'm just bad at doing math on camera, and I could totally do it on a calculator, but it feels like I shouldn't have to. So if you catch me doing math wrong, don't be afraid to say something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, oh, come on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I thought so. So he's got one more point here, and that is going to go towards Magic Memorization level 2. So same thing for Rowan as with Rana being a knight. He's not very naturally magical, so he's got to build up to level 4 in memorization and also level 3 in magic skill before he actually gets any spells. So he's working towards it. Valerna, our elven hero, she got damaged a little bit. She was definitely getting in there and getting her hands dirty. I can't believe she doesn't have anything listed under achievements. In all the quests she's been on, and this was her 17th total quest, by the way, she hasn't managed to kill a boss. Kind of surprising. She's been around for a long, long time. Justin says, I'm tired of missing streams. Yeah, yeah. One of these days, the first shift will end, my friend. Her first point tonight is going to be Magic Memorization level 9. She's getting close to maxing that out. What does she get? Nothing for level 9. However, she will obviously get something for maxing it out at level 10. Her second point then is going to be Magic Skill level 8. She's got a lot of really good points. What does she get anything for Magic Skill level 8? No, so she's got to wait till she maxes skill to get anything else in there too, but she is definitely working her way towards those things. Definitely very good showing from Valerna. Justin says, stupid work and needing to sleep. Yes. And 1 in 26 says, could lurk in the void like me. Very true. And Justin says, I'm always here, just not awake. Well, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that you are here even when you're sleeping. By the way, you missed a fairly epic conclusion. Now, I'm not going to lie, this quest itself, the Zargon's Flame mechanic made this quest a little bit easier than maybe it should have been, but Tiaga actually managed to land the killing blow on Malar. And that was not on purpose, that was not designed by me, that is just how the dice and the cards determined we were doing this. Tiaga managed to be the one to land the killing blow on the final boss, Fellmarak / Malar, and done for. Even though the quest was maybe a little bit flimsy, I gotta say I absolutely love that particular outcome. Justin goes back to third shift on Sunday. There you go. So a little bit left. Okay, this was Tiaga's 25th total quest, which means her presence alone is sticking us into level 2 difficulty. Even if she were to go to on a quest alone, we are at level 2 difficulty, which is kind of ridiculous. But I imagine that we will have a nice long rest for her, being that she is now nearly 10 quests ahead of any other hero in our ranks. We need to let the other heroes catch up to her. Her 2 points are going to be... we need to draw a card that's actually going to help us. Constitution level 7, which is going to put her up at 13 total body points. She is definitely our tank right at the moment because she's got so many quests. She's got a lot of skill set points. And her other point is going to be Education level 8. Now, Education increases your mind points. There is not a reward for level 8, which is fine because she does not need any more mind points. She's got a whole bunch of them. And boy, does it feel good to actually be putting her paper away for the first time in 13 quests. And right before we get out of here, let's go ahead and read our conclusion text for Book 4. It looks like they're trying to start an ad again, so let me go ahead and snooze that so that nobody misses our conclusion text. This is the end of Book 4. Mentor stands outside the Great Hall. Welcome, my friends. It has been my honor to aid you on this quest, and today it will be your honor that we celebrate. It seems by a strange stroke of luck that through your retrieval of the Talisman of Lore, and therefore the discovery and subsequent defeat of the dread spirit Malar, we were able to eliminate yet another of Zargon's most feared allies. We would not have been able to defeat this threat so easily had Malar not unintentionally revealed the Sorcerer's crown to us. For your most recent brave deeds in service of the Empire, you are to be reaffirmed as champions of the realm, a small token of our appreciation. We cannot, however, forget that there are still dark days ahead. Zargon has recoiled from advancing now that the Sorcerer King has been vanquished, but Zargon is no single-headed snake. Like the Hydra, the evil sorcerer attacks and threatens in many directions. If defeated, Zargon simply regroups and strikes again. Even now, I search Lore Tome for the answer to an important question. How did Zargon know to send the Doomguard to destroy Haven of the Lights? How did he know that the city's destruction would break the protective wards surrounding the Sorcerer's crown? He has dangerous designs on the elves in Athelorn, and I seek to discover his plan before he can catch us and the elves by surprise. Mentor's face relaxes and recovers a joyful look once more. Come, let me lead you to the council. They grow impatient to welcome you. The wizard tucks Lore Tome under his arm and steps forward. The doors to the great hall swing inward. War horns echo deeply around the vaulted ceilings to announce you. There is a moment's pause, and then the assembly erupts with a deafening wave of cheers and applause. You must revel in this short respite, for the sky darkens and storm clouds gather once more. And that's going to be it for book number 4, meaning tomorrow night's quest is going to be the start of book 5, which is Spirit Queen's Torment. Is another book that I've only played through once or maybe twice, and a book that I'm very much looking forward to getting started with. We should be seeing our Bard class of hero come in. I'm not sure which quest we get, but we do get an opportunity to get either a male or female Bard. We will get to pick which one we like. Well, we'll kind of get to pick. It depends on which one of them survives the quest. So we've got a quest where there's a male Bard with you for a little while, and there's a quest with a female Bard, and whichever one survives joins the hero's rank. So that's a brand new class that we have not interacted with at all. So I'm definitely excited to get into that. Of course, I'm just excited to advance the story and continue getting closer and closer to that ending, and total transparency, several quests that I have never played. I'm really excited to get into Against the Ogre Horde, of which I've only played a few quests. Never played Wizards of Morcar. We're getting into that one. The finale book that I have written has only ever been kind of lightly play tested, so really interested in getting into that. It's a long ways away still, but still extremely excited to get to that. So thank you guys, as always, for hanging out with me tonight. It was kind of a quiet night in the chat, but there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. I am just as happy to hang out and chat with people as I am to just hunker down, focus on the game, and play a whole bunch. So either way, it is extremely, extremely enjoyable for me, and I can't possibly thank you guys enough for hanging out and being interested in this content while I do so. If you are watching this right now and you have not followed the channel here on Twitch already, please consider doing so. Helps us out a whole bunch. We have not been doing this for super long, and we have seen an insanely impressive amount of upward growth. Our minds have been blown, and it has been absolutely fantastic. Every minute of it is great. Brightens my day to be able to do this, not only to be able to play Hero Quest, but to hang out with you guys. So thank you for being here. Yes, Gohan with the blowing the nose emote. Yeah, you know what? I'm sounding a little stuffed up. I actually do kind of need to blow my nose. Yeah, it's kind of dissatisfying, honestly. I thought there was going to be more stuff in there than that. Guess not. Well, you win some, you lose some, I guess. If you are interested in checking out any of the story leading up to this particular moment, you can go search Midnight Quest Game on YouTube, where you will find all of our previous Quest episodes, all of our previous paint streams, as well as daily shorts made by the one and only Justin Pollard, who is in the chat right now. Those daily shorts are also posted on TikTok and Facebook. If either of those are your thing, you can go follow or subscribe or do whatever it is that content creators ask you to do on any platform that you are also on. All of that support is much, much, much appreciated. Okay, I think that is going to do it for us, guys. Don't forget, we are here streaming every single night at midnight Eastern Time. Hit that schedule tab on Twitch to have that automatically put into your time zone if you're not also in Eastern Time. And we will see you tomorrow night for another quest, this time in Book 5, our first quest for Book 5. Super excited, so we will see you guys then. See you later.